Hello everyone and welcome back to ZeldaSpeedRuns and welcome to the start of another tournament. We've got the Twilight Princess 80% tournament, the third edition of Wolfdash, coming up right here on ZeldaSpeedRuns. There was supposed to be a seeding race earlier as well, but unfortunately that one was cancelled. But now we have the second scheduled one, and on restream today we have got Zackling, Bruggles, the Internet Boys, and Bailey P75. Should be a pretty awesome restream for awesome runners, and commentating today and talking you through this amazing race will be Jaguar. So I'm not exactly sure why the timer is showing 50. I know exactly why it's showing minus 15 minutes. What? That is weird. Why is it showing minus 15 minutes? Oh, okay, fixed now. Sorry about that. But yeah, they'll be starting off soon. And what do you have to say about this tournament?
Oh, is that for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, this should be really interesting. We've got a lot of great runners that are running 80% and should be really competitive. We got a lot of people that are at the sub 3 level or very near it. And so in this race, I know that we have at least 2 people that are sub 3 and several people that are within about 10 minutes. So really anything could happen in this race. So, hopefully everybody does well.
Yep. Gonna be in here for a little while, 3.5 hours roughly. But yeah, we do actually have permission from everyone in the race room today to restream. So once we get to the later parts of the race, we will be hot swapping in people that haven't been featured on restream.
So it looks like we're starting pretty soon.
Yep. Well, just getting ready up right now. Just waiting on one watch. And then we're gonna be off.
I didn't see any funny file names, although I wasn't really looking for any. But just so you guys know, the file name is going to reset to link once everybody does back in time here in a couple of minutes. Looks like it's going to start in about 10 or so seconds. So, once again, hopefully everybody does well, and this is a great race.
So the racer is going to be off, but CSR has a little bit of a framework delay because it processes all the streams to make sure everything's synced, so...
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I will leave you in the trusted hands of Jaguar. Sorry, I didn't exactly ask how to pronounce your name before the stream, but hope I did that right.
You got it basically right.
Yeah, we'll leave you in your trusted hands.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so looks like we're getting started. Starting off here, normally we would go through all of Ordon, but since this is Twilight Princess, gates don't exist, as we're about to see. So all these runners are going to pick up this rock that's right over here. Zach is picking it up now. And they're going to carry it over to the gate and use it to clip through so that they can do a trick called back in time. Now the reason we're going for this gate here is to get to a void as fast as possible, and that's what allows us to do back in time, which gets us the sword and shield early and allows us to skip a whole lot of Ordon, which is really nice. It looks like they're all going for safe bit here. I'll be interested to see if anybody goes through the loading zone. It does not look like it. And so this is just a way that really never fails to get back in time if you do it correctly. So thankfully all of our runners seem to have gotten it. That's a frame perfect trick, so having it set up like that is really nice. So yeah, they're gonna save on the title screen after voiding to be able to get up the collection screen, and then they are going to reset and go back into the game. And so now here we're basically in the Talo chase at this point. So all these runners are going to be going straight towards Talo so that they can continue into the sewer segment of the run. It looks like Bruggles was just standing there. I don't know what's going on. Is his controller messed up? That's interesting. All of our other runners are getting the lantern right now. They, of course, need that later in the run, and also to get through this cave right here. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Bruggles, but it looks like he's going again. So that's good. So yeah, there's not a whole lot going on in this segment right now after Back in Time. It's just normally going over to Talo. They're just going to roll through here, go grab a key, and then continue on with the run. It is worth mentioning that there's a lot of lag in this area here, so it's kind of hard to get frame-perfect rolls so that you're not losing a ton of time just rolling around. It looks like Zach's doing a pretty good job of the rolling, though. But yeah, I guess I didn't comment on it, but I'm pretty sure everybody got perfect gate clip, which is why they're almost in sync right now, which is awesome, because that gate can really be finicky sometimes. So now that all the runners have the small key, they're going to go back over to the gate and go towards Talo. Yes, that's right, Cam Keatons. The gate can gate you out of the run pretty hard. It is notoriously annoying at the beginning of the run, especially when you're not doing safety bit and have to reset to get the frame perfect bit as well. Or the frame perfect Back in Time. And yes, D3 is running, he's just not on restream right now. He'll be swapped in at some point whenever one of the runners finishes, it sounds like. But anyways, these guys are heading over towards Talo here. I don't know how Talo managed to get stuck in this cage because of us jumping into a void, but he's here, so we have to save him. And so now that we saved him, we can do goats and then head on to the more fun part of the run with sewers and so forth. Unfortunately, the beginning of the run, aside from Back in Time, is fairly vanilla. But once we get through that, we can start doing a lot of really cool stuff. Talo didn't eat his vegetables. Oof. Okay, so what these runners are looking for is probably a sub 20 goats time optimally. This is somewhat difficult. I'll be interested to see if any of these guys go for the safe strat or the fast strat. It looks like Zach is going for the fast goat strat, so that makes it easier to get sub 20. So is the Ethernet boys, and so is Bailey. Let's see about Bruggles. Yeah, so all four of these guys did the fast strat, which I would not personally do. I think it's too inconsistent. And it looks like Zach is having some problems because of that. Let's see if the other guys do well. Bailey's having a bit of an issue with some of these goats. Looks like Bruggles got a really good one, though. Oh, no, he had to go the wrong way. Yes. Sometimes we call these goats Howards. That has become popular in the last year or so. Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Zach. A 41 goats time is really good. And like, same with Ethernet boys and Bailey, they're having just as bad times. It's really unfortunate. But hopefully they can make up for it by getting good luck with Bo here. Yeah, again, those goats, they're really difficult to manipulate correctly and do fast. So I'm not super surprised that our runners had some problems with it, but it is still unfortunate. So we do have some more RNG here. This is, I guess, another non-vanilla thing. Normally you can't get these boots until way later. But because we did back in time, the game thinks that we've already tamed Epona, so we can go ahead and get the Iron Boots from Bo here. It gives us this weird sort of broken cutscene here that we have to like go through one text box at a time. So anyways, Bo and Link are gonna slap each other for a little bit here, and one of them is gonna end up off the ring. Hopefully it's Bo. You have to do this a couple times. Now, ideally you can slap him immediately and then get him off in one cycle, but he's not always that nice. Looks like Bruggles got good luck on this first one, so did Zach. And they mashed correctly. You do have to mash pretty hard to get him off in one cycle. I think it's like 12 times a second. It's pretty difficult. But most of these runners are better at mashing than I am. Looks like they all got it just fine. Although Bo is being kind of mean to some of our runners on the second phase. Looks like Bruggles got through. But Zach is having problems here. It's worth noting that this is not the fault of any runners. Bo can just be like this. He's totally unreadable. He is more likely to slap in the second phase than anything else, but it's not perfect. So yeah, not the best start for all of our runners, but this is where the RNG kind of ends for a little while, which is nice. And so you'll notice our runners are saving here. That's because they're going to do a trick later that requires there to be a save file inside of Bo's house. And so they just save there, and it'll create a save file inside Bo's house. That'll be used, I think, like half an hour into the run. Yep, so we're gonna get out of Ordon with Iron Boots in like 9 minutes, which is awesome, considering how long this takes casually to get out of Ordon. So the next area we're going to go into is the sewer segment, and so this is just a bunch of movement as Wolf Link. There's like a few interesting strats. I think it's just enjoyable to do the segment. It just feels nice to do fast. I guess we'll be introduced to some Midna jumps, where on most of these, if you press L and A, like frame perfectly, then you can jump earlier instead of waiting for Midna to get all the way to where she's going to go first. And I didn't comment on it, but these runners are also going for a trick called Box Breaker, where you could break the box before the cutscene starts. I think Bruggles got it, but I didn't see the other two runners. Anyways, and once we get out of sewers, we're going to do a trick called Sword and Shield Skip. So since we did back in time, we actually cannot get the Sword and Shield like you would normally to go into Far on Twilight. And instead, we're going to have to jump over the ground trigger to be able to get into Far on Twilight. So you'll see that when we get there. It's really interesting. It's notoriously difficult. I think all of these runners are probably going to get it first try. Although I wouldn't be shocked if one of them misses it once. And yes, that is the trick with Hugo, the Boblin. Yeah, it's very nice that there is a Boblin there, because I'm assuming if there wasn't a Boblin there, we would just be totally out of luck. So there's a text skip you can do here if you jump in a very specific way to cause these stairs to collapse. I'll be interested to see if these runners get it. It's not super easy. Yeah, Bruggles did not get it. It saves only a little bit of time, but it's kind of difficult. So here we're going to have a lot of Minda jumps, so we might see if we can get some frame-perfect ones, so that you guys can see what those look like. Again, that is frame-perfect, so they're not going to get it every single time, but a lot of the times. And I think that's basically just for the ones where there's text before when you can jump. So, like, Bruggles is having one up here. Let's see if he gets this. He did not. But he would have jumped instantly rather than waiting for the camera to pan there. There's also some text up here that Bruggles is going to try to skip. He did get it, which is very nice. That's also frame perfect. You have to skip the cutscene and then jump attack immediately. And that actually saves a pretty decent amount of time, because that text takes, like, forever to mash through. So. And again, once we get out of sewers, which is coming up pretty quickly here, we're going to see our runners do sword and shield skip. Which, again, is that notoriously difficult trick, so hopefully they get it. Yeah, so again, this segment's just a lot of movement. The birds can hit you before entering this tower. It doesn't look like anybody has gotten hit by that yet. But I know I've had a few game overs in the past, getting hit by birds before getting in there. Okay, so we're going to hope that Hugo is close to the spring rather than really far away. He can appear in a number of positions here. And obviously you want him closer, because you have to take him all the way over to the shadow wall. And he walks very, very slowly on his little feet. You'll also notice that some of these runners are going to pick up rupees along the way. And that's because we want to get to 300 at some point, so any extra rupees are very nice to have. So basically how this trick works is we're going to push Hugo into a very specific sort of position, and then once he swings at us, we're going to backflip and then jump attack him twice. And so what that's going to do is knock him backwards and then do an enemy long jump attack to jump really far at very high speeds. And it's going to put us in the air loading zone before we get the minute text. So we'll see if Bruggles can get it quickly here. Now, Hugo can be kind of finicky, and his behavior is somewhat random. Looks like Bruggles got it first try, so that's very good. That was pretty fast, too. So we'll see if our other runners can get it. Not being very nice to Zach. Oh, wow, I'm shocked that that worked for Zach. Hugo was really far back there. He had to basically mash A to be able to get that jump off. It's really nice that he got it, though. Oh, no. Yeah, Bailey... So Bailey was trying to backflip there. I just know he was not trying to jump attack, because I've done that before, and it feels awful. He accidentally jump attacked, which means that he has to void out, so that Hugo will have enough health to make the trick work, which is unfortunate. See if Ethernet can get it. Being very patient to make sure. Oh, yeah, no. He waited way too long to do the second jump attack there, unfortunately. So we've had a couple runners have issues. Hopefully they'll get it the second time around. Again, that's a really difficult trick. I know a lot of runners have given up trying to learn this game because they've just struggled so much with this trick. So, it happens. So, another thing is, we're never... Well, actually, I think at least, none of these runs are going to finish far on Twilight. You certainly don't have to. Now, if any of these runners are doing a very specific route, then they will. But I think they're all doing gorge route, so they're not going to finish far on Twilight. So they're just ignoring all of these bugs. So Bailey's lining up to do this again. That one looks pretty good. There you go. You got it. So coming up pretty quickly here for Bruggles, there's going to be a sword called, or not a sword, a trick called Early Master Sword. where he's going to use a Shadow Beast to jump up onto a ledge to go get the Master Sword early. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's really cool to watch, and it's kind of difficult to learn as well. This is one of these kind of annoying early game tricks that sometimes just mess up. So again, hopefully our runners don't have too many problems with it. It looks like Ethernet got into Faron as well, so that's good. So only one fail maximum for any of our runners on Sword and Shield Skip, which is good, because that loses a lot of time to mess up, unfortunately. Okay, so Bruggle's going to lure the Shadow Beast over into the corner, and then he's going to, during a slow swing, there you go, he got it. He's going to mid the jump to get onto that ledge, which is very, very nice, and that saves a ton of time. It's like half an hour during the run. And so from there, these runners are just gonna go get the Master Sword. So yeah, I think Bruggles might be getting a 21 Master Sword. I'm not quite sure, but that looks like a pretty good time, especially for a race. Like a really, really good run is like a low 21 Master Sword, so. And of course, here we're chasing around Skull Kid, so that he will take us to the Master Sword. Unfortunately, there's no way to skip this, really. Especially not this early in the game. Yeah, I mean, High 20XX is a really good Master Sword, but that's like a really, really, really good Master Sword, instead of just a really good Master Sword, you know? Oh, Simikins is doing Blade Route? Oh. Well, I don't think we're going to be switching anybody off until somebody finishes. But that is interesting. So that is an alternate route where you, instead of going across the gorge, we're going to clear Faron Twilight and then use that sort of back-in-time glitch in order to fight King Bulblin 1 on the current file, and then that'll put us in Kakariko. But none of these other runners seem to be doing that, as far as I can tell. Looks like Bailey's going for EMS. Oh, he just missed it. That's too bad. So we have a little mini boss fight against this Skull Kid here, where what we want to do is basically just kill as few of these puppets as possible, but at least one, so that he'll blow his horn after a certain amount of time. And again, we're going to try to get rupees during this, so these runners are going to go around breaking skulls and picking up rupees off the ground, so that they can be at a good rupee count for later. I mean, I'm fine if some of the streams switch around occasionally. I wouldn't mind that. Like I said, Simikins is doing a different route, although the differences for that are probably over for a while.
I guess we can do a checkup like once every half an hour.
Okay. So D3 is not on stream right now, Modi Mido. So yeah, Ruggles is doing the Master Sword puzzle. There is just a memorizable solution to this, which is nice, because this takes a long time to figure out casually how to do this, so all of us just know the solution by heart now. Yeah. So in terms of who's ahead, I mean, I could check to look at D3 and Simi real quick to see where they are. I imagine both of them are probably ahead of Bailey and Ethernet right now, since Bailey and Ethernet both missed Sword and Shield skip. Let me see if I can pull this up. I heard that D3 got Hugo first try, so okay. Anyway, so Burgles has the Master Sword now. It looks like Zach is just missing a 21 Master Sword, but that's still a pretty good race time, especially considering how evil goats were. Yeah, so Zach and Bruggles are both doing really well right now, actually. It's still very competitive. And, you know, Ethernet and Bailey are both very competitive with each other. Unfortunately, just that one mistake for each of them costs them like a minute and a half almost. But it happens. So the next thing our runners are going to do is go get the Boomerang. After watching this 2-minute long cutscene. Yes, it is pretty much exactly 2 minutes. Kind of interesting. Thankfully, the Master Sword unlocks the ability to warp. Otherwise, we would kind of just be stuck here, I'm pretty sure. But as it is, we can warp away to South Faron and get out of here. Yeah, Sydney said break time. That's right. It's a decently long cutscene. However, it requires one input at like 40 seconds or so. So you can't just totally peace out for all 2 minutes. Obviously, there's also some text mashing later in. We have a $5 donation? Really? I think Ethernet might be doing the Master Sword puzzle solution backwards. It is worth noting that it's symmetrical, so that's not an issue. It's just interesting, because I normally see the runners do it differently. So again, we don't have to finish far on Twilight, so Bruggles and Zach are going to ignore all of the tiers and just head straight to Boomerang. Now, I imagine Simikins right now is getting some of the rest of the tiers to finish up far on Twilight pretty soon, although he won't officially finish it until after he gets Boomerang and exits the Forest Temple. Now, you mentioned me talking about an enemy LJA earlier, and I think it would be really nice if we could do that with just an item that was portable, you know, rather than just an enemy. And thankfully it turns out that we can, which is part of the reason why we're getting the Boomerang, is so that we can jump really far at will. It saves a lot of time throughout the run. And yeah, you can kind of just roll through the mist pretty quickly there after doing only a few lantern swings. So as soon as Bruggles goes into the Forest Temple here, you're going to see him save. At least I hope he saves. That would be really bad if anybody forgot to save. Which I have also done before, and it's really, really bad. So everybody save, please. But he's going to save, and then what he's going to do is he's going to do back in time again through the entrance here. So we'll see if he gets it quickly. Simi remembered to save. That's good. So did Bruggles. We'll see if Zach Link remembers to save here. Okay. So he's gonna do a frame perfect. Okay, I'm surprised okay. He didn't do the map backup method. He tried to do a different backup for that. I know with the map you can get that frame to work, but unfortunately he did it wrong. Zach also missed it once. Let's see if he gets it the second time. Oh, he paused. Oh, he forgot to... Oh, he's like was seriously very close to forgetting to save. Oh my gosh. That would have been really bad. I didn't realize that you could like pause on that frame to get that to work. That's really interesting. I hadn't seen that setup before. Anyways, so he goes back onto the title screen here with Back in Time, and then he's going to load up a file, and that's the file from inside Bo's house. And so what he does is he then skips the cutscene as he's resetting. Yeah, I kind of realized that at this point, Zach. That's pretty cool, though. I didn't know about that. But anyway, so what that whole trick does, where Zach reset to like while skipping the cutscene, is it saves some boss flags as you go back to the title screen. So what are boss flags? They're these flags that the game uses to... I mean, basically, the reason they're called boss flags is they keep track of whether or not you've already skipped the cutscene for a boss. And they're also used for other things. In this case, they're used to track the number of monkeys you have in Forest Temple. So our runners are going to have all 4 monkeys as soon as they go through the door towards the Boomerang room, which is very nice. It saves like 2.5 minutes or something. Bruggles is behind, I think. By a few seconds still. But it's close. See, Zach got a bit of an advantage by getting back in time earlier, but then had problems with the spider. So they're pretty even now. So this is really still quite competitive, which is good. Now there's going to be something coming up in the next few minutes that's probably going to split our runners a little bit, but we'll see if they all get it. So I don't think Zach voided, which is good. If you void in this room, you lose your boss flags, which may not sound bad since, you know, we already have the monkeys. But you actually need a boss flag for something later. So you would have to waste a bunch of time getting more if you void in that room, because it resets all of your boss flags to 0. Okay, so since we have the Master Sword, we can one-cycle Duke, which is very nice. So it limits the amount of RNG. The minimum number of hops he can do here is 2. So.
Just so people know, since we are, as we've agreed on doing that, we're doing sort of like a mini checkup on all the other races, but those streams aren't going to be cropped, so there may be some like live footage showing up while I swap over the scene. Just so you know. Just on restream. But yeah, I guess since we're half an hour in, let's do a little bit of a checkup on everyone else. See if I can get that in. There we go.
Okay. So now we have... Oh, I didn't even realize Dean was doing this run. That's great. Dean is also quite good at the game. Actually, all of these runners that are on stream are, like, really good. So this is very nice. So Simikins, I think, is also running GameCube, although he knows how to do Wii. Yes, he's running GameCube. But like I mentioned before, he's doing the bite route, which does... There's just a number of differences throughout the run. So anyways, Dean and D3 are slightly behind Zach and Bruggles, and looks like Simikins, it's hard to tell comparing bite route to gorge until much later in the race. But... So I don't know exactly where he is. What's the biggest difference for bite route? Well, there's a number of differences. So you finish far on Twilight, which is one thing. And that's so that you can do back in time equipped, which is that trick that our runners did to get to the King Goblin fight and then skip the cutscene as they soft reset to get boss flags. And so what you do is you do that, but from the actual file that you're playing on, like your main file, so that you can just continue. Yeah, all the streams are buffering for me right now.
Oh, you having issues with the stream?
Yeah, I don't know if I should reload.
I just reload the page, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
When that happens, just give the page a reload.
Yeah, okay.
If it persists, I can also Discord screen share.
Gotcha. No, it's fine now.
Okay.
So Zach is coming up on a... Well, first of all, he's going to do Postman skip to save like 10 seconds here, which is nice. But also he's coming up on the Eldin Twilight, where pretty early in, going to do a trick called Gorge Void. Now this is a one-frame jump attack, so nobody is perfect at it, but you can get to like 70-ish, maybe a little bit more % consistency. And getting that saves like a minute. So hopefully everybody gets it, but it's notorious for just losing a minute and you just live with it.
Just let me know when we're done with our quick little checkup here.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. I think everybody has a pretty good idea where people are.
Right, you want me to swap back?
Yes.
Alright, let me get that set up. And that should be back on our original set.
Okay. So Bruggle's still quite close to Zach here. And they're both about to do Gorge Void, so it's right after finishing this Shadow Beast fight. So we'll see if they get it. You want to basically, as soon as the portal is going off the top of the screen, you want to press A. And like I said, it saves a minute, so hopefully they get it. Looks like Zach got it, so that's very nice. I'll be interested to see if Bruggles gets it. He also got it, that's very good. I take it that Bailey must have forgotten to save, because he's going really far back to Goats 2. In fact, I'm not even sure if he saved in Bo's house, so I'm not really sure what happened there. That's if he forgot to save, that's really unfortunate. Like I said, it loses like 20 minutes, because you have to go all the way back to your latest save, which is going to be from like 10 minutes in. And it looks like he didn't even save then, otherwise he would have gone there. So Zach and Bruggles are doing Rupee Roll. They already did it, so you basically want to use the Boomerang to put a Rupee on the fence, and then jump on the fence, and use the text box to roll over the fence. And then you can maneuver around and use the Boomerang to long jump attack across the void here. Now I did mention before that long jump attack is basically, we have the portable Boomerang, which we can just throw over a void or over something that's higher than us. And what that allows us to do is, since the camera is still targeting the Boomerang, we can use that in the same way we'd use an enemy to gain like a ton of speed in the jump attack, which is really awesome. So we can just fly around, just insane. Yeah, so you're going to see Zach and Bruggles both do the sort of getting Gorge Void route. There is a backup route that everybody knows, in case they fail Gorge Void. But I'm not going to see that unless Ethernet misses Gorge Void. I'm not hoping that that will happen, but it would be interesting to see. Oh, Ethernet failed the Postman skip. That's too bad. So Zach and Bruggles are going to go back towards the bridge here. Yeah, because they want to get map warp. So that's what we were skipping. There's a forced warp here if you don't get that jump attack. But we do need to get that forced warp at some point in order so that we can get map warp. and use the map to warp around, which is faster and allows us to do a few extra things. So as far as I can tell, Zach is in the lead. Although I'm gonna have to reload here real quick. He's still a little bit ahead of Ruggles, but they're pretty close. And from what I remember, all of D3 and Dean and Ethernet are pretty close. It's hard to tell with Simikins since he's doing Bite Route, but he looked like he was in pretty good shape considering he was close to the other runners despite having done a couple minutes of extra stuff so far. So I'm not really sure about where Simikins is. But those other three guys are behind Ruggles and Zach here. Ethernet's probably in a similar spot, and then unfortunately Bailey is having to replay a long time. So let's see. So he... Oh, I don't know why he would do that. There's a much faster backup than that. That's unfortunate. He didn't know about the backup. So if you don't save at Bo's house, you don't actually have to replay up to Bo. What you can do is when you get back in time, instead of starting a file, you just void out twice and game over. And that will put you in the fight so that you can get boss flags just the same. But it appears that Bailey didn't know about that, which is too bad. But he's getting there now. So at least he didn't forget to save on the Boomerang segment. But yeah, that's unnecessary time loss. If he had just known, he would have not lost that time. So again, gates don't exist, so Zach and Ruggles are just gonna clip through this gate and go to Lake Hylia really early. It's very nice that wolf setup works, because we used to have to do a horse setup there, which was kind of finicky. So Zach and Ruggles are about to do pillar clip here, which is nice. Yes, Bailey, you can do that. But now you know. Gotta learn something new every day. So what they're going to do here is they're going to swim over towards the pillar and then drop down and swim up in between the pillar and the wall so that the pillar forces them out of bounds and they can get into the loading zone here. Now Zach is being kind of gutsy because he did... We'll see if this works. I'm worried he might run out of air because he did a lot of iron boots presses to get into position. But I imagine he'll probably be fine. Hopefully Bruggles also gets it. That might have been early on the Z press for Bruggles. So I'm not sure that that's going to clip out of bounds, unfortunately. Oh, it did. Okay, that's good. It's hard for me to tell because Zach and Bruggles both do pillar clips somewhat different from me. But it did look like Zach got the clip, which is good. He got all the way to the loading zone. That's another one of these really silly early game tricks that people struggle with a lot. So it's good that both of those guys got it. I think Ethernet Boys is having some problems with Rupee roll. Hopefully you can get that pretty soon. So yeah, since we have the Boomerang, we can just kind of break Lakebed, which is really nice. Normally you'd have to have the bombs and the arrows to take down these stalactites, although I guess you could use the bombs in a Boomerang. But instead we can just use the Boomerang to just fly around, which is really nice. Yeah, well, yeah, that is a typical Zelda norm. It's especially true in this game and has been for a long time. Alright, looks like Ethernet made it across the gorge, which is very nice. Oh, so Zach Link is doing a bit of a different route through Lakebed here, which saves 3 seconds, but I think is kind of difficult. It was discovered recently, so we'll see if he pulls off everything to make it worth it. And Bruggles looks to also be doing it. I think most runners still stick with the old double LJA method, which is, again, a little slower, but everybody's used to it at this point. Yes, this is the new Lakebed, like the one from last week. That's correct. So anyways, both these runners are going to go up and get this Uku. We can't actually finish Lakebed in this pass. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the Uku and then come back. After we get the Claw Shot, that is, because the Claw Shot's going to be useful for a couple things. both Bruggles and Zach got the jump attack down, which is good. That's one of the differences. Since you have the stairs in a different position, you can't just jump down. Why can't we finish Lakebed? So there's... I guess the only... Since we do have boots, so the only reason is that we wouldn't be able to get an air refill in order to beat Morphil. So we'd run out of air and die. We can't actually finish Lakebed until we get water bombs. So basically, what the next, like, half hour is us trying to get water bombs. So, we'll see. Okay, so this is what you needed the other boss flag for, is to be able to look straight up and cause this Deku Toad to fall down immediately. And so if you get 10 slashes in a row in one cycle by doing 5 sets of 2 slashes, then you can kill this guy in one cycle with a Master Sword, which is very nice. So Zach got it. I know sometimes this gives runners trouble, but usually runners are pretty good at this. Yeah, so Bruggles also got it. Okay. Simi just got the item from the Toad chest. Yeah. So he doesn't do Gorge Void and Ruby Roll to get across the gorge. So I think the other routes have basically caught up in the amount of stuff they've done, so that Simi being at the same general location as our other runners is not too ridiculous. That's probably what I would expect, actually. So he's probably still a little bit behind, but it's hard to tell. Now, the bite route does lose some time, but it's not that much optimally. It's just hard to play optimally. So Zach and Bruggles are ukuing out here in order to jump down and do the bird flight to get up to Zora's domain. So they're going to walk over to fire there. And I think both of them, unless they're, chicken, I think they're going to do the Argorock skip. But I wouldn't blame them if they didn't do it in a race, because, you can lose a few minutes if you get grabbed by the Argorock. So I don't know if Simi is doing Zora armor route or not. I just know that he's doing bite route, so I don't know. He's doing Zora armor. Okay, so that's also interesting. So I actually don't really know how that route works very well. I know that at some point he gets Zora armor, which is in the name of the route. It's a little different. So anyways, Bruggles and Zach are both going to run around, and then they're going to, like, iron boots into the water to get away from the Argorock and cause the Argorock to dunk the Boblin into the water. And then from there, they can get onto the Argorock in the flight without having to, like, actually do the long fight of beating the Boblin. So there's also an out of bounds here, which is really nice. That saves, like, I don't know, 8 seconds or something. I mean, assuming you don't log. Zach got it, which is good. I know Bruggles has had problems with it in the past, so I don't know if he's going to do it in the race or not. Yeah, so Ethernet, he had a bit of a wonky pillar clip, but it looks like he clipped. I'm not sure that he has enough air. He'll be fine. He is. Okay, he barely made it. That's good. Anyways, we get a nice scenic view of the out-of-bounds here. Looks like Bruggles did end up going for the out-of-bounds, which is good. So we don't actually have to go through the little hole in the end here for the loading zone, because it's just based on your Z-axis positioning. So we just want to go straight up the mini-map as fast as possible to load in the next area. It looks like Ethernet got owned by a Chew there. That happens. That Chew is pretty aggressive, actually. He does that a lot. Yeah, I do think it would be interesting to see more of Simi's run, since he is doing a different route. Anyways, I'd like to see where he is, but yeah. So Zach and Brubbles are gonna go get the portal here and then go back to the vessel. It's just faster to do this part of Lanayru Twilight. It saves like 30... No, I guess it's more than that. It saves a good amount of time to do this part early, before doing Eldin Twilight. But you do have to get this portal before you can actually warp out of Lanayru Twilight, I believe. Not quite sure about that. But we also want this portal anyways, so that we can just start Lanayru Twilight right after finishing Eldin Twilight. Okay, Ethernet did a bit of a brake slide towards the Uku there. It's like moonwalking, basically. Yeah, I think Bailey is doing pretty well aside from the one mistake, so... Anyways, Ruggles is getting owned by this Shadow Beast, which is not a ton of fun. These guys can be mean sometimes. Thankfully, he eventually got the fight done. Okay, so Zach is starting Eldin Vessel, or excuse me, Eldin Twilight. So he has to get all these bugs. I think a good time for the segment's like under 7 minutes, so we'll see if he does well. This is one of these segments where there's like a lot of movement and just small optimizations, but it's such that, you know, people like me who are not as good lose like 30 seconds on this segment to top runners, so it should be really interesting. You can see a lot of cool movement by some of these guys. Starting with this first room, where Zach is going to try to manipulate these bugs to kill them all pretty quickly. Unfortunately, he missed one of the bugs, but it's not too bad. It looks like Bailey drowned, which is too bad. Again, that happens. It's Pillar Clip. Pillar Clip is a mean trick. That's one of those things where a lot of runners have problems early on. It's like learning that and early Master Sword and Sword and Shield skip are like the big 3 difficult tricks to learn early on. So it happens. I mean, I fail those a lot too, and I like have a halfway decent time. So you saw Zach hit the wall there and then just target repeatedly. So that's to manipulate the bug to come down. That looks pretty good for Bailey. He should be able to do the Pillar Clip here. Assuming he... Oh, he pressed boots too fast. That's too bad. Okay, we're... Oh yeah, and Rupee Roll. Rupee Roll, if you're doing Gorge Route, is also difficult. But some people learn Bite Route first, like I did. So they don't have to deal with that early on. But that's also one of those tricks where it's hard, especially if you're bad at aiming, like I am. So Zach is doing Eldin right now, which I think is like... It's difficult to do well, but it feels really good when you do this room really well. And he's also doing a different rupee route where he gets a 10 rupee here. Not everybody does this, but that could allow him to skip a red rupee chest in Arbiters. So we'll see if he gets to do that. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of bug collection here. There's not a ton going on, but again, the movement is pretty cool looking. Let's see if Bailey gets this. This looks good. If he can just mash Iron Boots correctly, he should definitely make it. And he did! There we go! That's great. So all of our runners on stream have successfully done Pillar Clip, which is very good. Okay, so coming up pretty soon, Zach is going to do a trick called Bomb House Skip. Now, I'm not sure if he's going to do the wolf or human variant of this, but long story short, he's going to jump onto a fence and then over towards the bomb house without causing the bug to move yet. And so he's going to be able to, like, actually minute charge and hit the bug before it goes into the bomb house. So we'll see if he gets this. Oh yeah, Simi is referring to, in Bite Route, you game over on purpose to get to the proper part of Farun before doing back in time equip. Okay, so he did the human variant. The wolf variant saves a little bit of time, but it's difficult to do. And so yeah, he can skip that bug, and then this is kind of weird collision right now, but he can just kind of crawl in there without going into the loading zone, and then get the cheers before hopping back out. So that saves like a lot of loading zones and cutscenes that would otherwise be kind of annoying. So Brogles is also doing the human variant. Yeah, I don't think anybody is going to do Wolf Bomb House skip today. We might see it in some other streams. I want to say time for donations because there's not much to talk about, but this is not GDQ. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the down part of the run, where it's just 2 straight things of Twilight, and they're just kind of there. I guess Lanayru Twilight probably has a few more... Well, I know it has a couple interesting tricks. I'm not sure if it has more, but it does have a couple interesting things coming up. So yeah, in this next little area, if Zach goes fast enough, he can hit an early wind cycle to jump up towards the next bug. We'll see if he gets it. I think you kind of have to have the Shadow Beast cooperate a little bit to make it work, though. So I'm not sure if this setup is going to work. Yeah, he bonked. I don't know, maybe he'll get it. It's only a few seconds to get the normal cycle compared to early cycle, though. It's not a big deal. Oh, he got knocked down. He tried to get the cycle and he just missed it. Too bad. So this last bug is really annoying, actually. He likes to just scurry around and away from you, and he's also surrounded by like a billion enemies, so it's just really difficult. Looks like Zach got him pretty cleanly, though. And then also it's very difficult to get this cured. You know, the bird and all the bugs, or like slugs or whatever, are trying to hit you. It looks like Ethernet is finally getting Vessel, so that's good. Okay, so Zach is gonna warp to Death Mountain, and then grab the meteor that's gonna spawn in so that he can melt the ice in Lanayru Twilight. So yes, there's like 2 minutes of downtime between the Twilights, or really not even 2 minutes. It's pretty crazy. But after this, we get to like a lot of interesting stuff, and it's basically just a giant dungeon rush to the end of the game. So we're almost done with the Twilights. It's just another like 10 minutes or so. I'll be interested to see if Zach gets Devil Glitch here and doesn't melt the ice. He got it. Okay, he didn't get Devil Glitch. He got the normal cutscene. I still think Devil Glitch was just Cosmic Rays. Nobody can recreate it. Okay, so he jumped in the water there to skip a cutscene where you have to, like, listen to Rutella whine at you for a while. So we're never gonna hear her plight. And, of course, all of our runners are going to ignore her plight, except for Simikins, who's going to do the Zora escort and save the Zora. Although I don't know how he's gonna know, considering that he didn't listen to Rutella tell him about the sickly Zora. So there's another trick later, we should see it in the next couple minutes, called the Waterfall side hop, where basically you go underneath the bridge again to avoid the cutscene. But then what you do is you side hop, and like, I think there's like a 3-frame window to do it. Yes, Simi, you're just a kind person. Anyways, and then you hop onto this little ledge, which is really nice because it puts you near the bug that's kind of difficult to get to otherwise. So yes, now the game is starting to throw really dumb Shadow Beast fights at us. This one is one of the stupid ones, I think, personally. Because it's kind of hard to get this Shadow Beast, the middle one, to like line up correctly, although Zach did it really well, which is very nice. But sometimes that Shadow Beast just ignores you and doesn't want to move into position, and it's really not very fun. It's like Bailey's going for the Argorock out of bounds. He got it. I think he was almost a little early there, but he got it, which is good. Okay, so Zach is about to do the Waterfall side hop in like just a little bit of time here. So first he's going to get this bug off the wall, and then stand in a specific spot to manipulate it towards the wall so that he can min and charge it more easily. And then from there he's going to go underwater and do the Waterfall side hop, which should be very nice. Hopefully he gets it. It loses a pretty good chunk of time if you fail. Now, there is a safer strat where you can just put on Iron Boots immediately, but it loses a pretty decent amount of time to do that. So we'll see if he gets it. He got it. Good. Yeah, so that's what that looks like. And now he can just mid jump towards the bug that he's trying to get to. Now, these next couple bugs are pretty infamous for being jerks. These are the lily pad bugs. And you just kind of have to hope that they go into a position where you can hit them. They're just kind of trolls. Zach got them pretty quickly there. But yeah, it's not very fun fighting 2 bugs on like a tiny piece of land. I think Bruggles also got the side hop, so that's good. Yeah, if you go early, you'll land lower, and then you have to, like, claw shot up, which is not fast, but not super slow either.
Right. Since we have another half hour past, do you want to do another checkup?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, I'm gonna swap that in. This time they should be cropped, because it actually saves the crops.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so Simi is almost done with Eldin Twilight. Now, again, he's already... I think he's gotten ending blow at this point in the run. Although, it's really hard for me to gauge where he is in relation to the other runners. Because he is doing a different route. But I think this is still pretty decent. Looks like D3 and Dean are catching up a little bit, actually, to Zach and Bruggles. They're still probably, like, a minute or 2 behind. But they're having okay runs. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to see how Simi compares to the other runners later in the run as well, because I'm just wondering like how the route differences change, like what type of times you get in early game. But after he finishes Lanayru Twilight, he should be doing the Zora escort, which I think would be really nice to have on stream. Because it's kind of interesting to watch done in a from a speedy perspective, and then also he does this cool trick called Epona Slide because he hasn't actually warped the bridge back. So that'll be interesting. So I don't think it really meets up at Morphil, no, because like there's still minor differences. Like, I mean, yeah, it meets up at MDH, but also it doesn't have bombs, right? So it's gonna lose some time later to some dungeons with bomb strats, I think. Anyways, Zach is having problems. This is another one of these Shadow Beast fights that's structured this way with this little weird wall in the middle. And sometimes the Shadow Beasts just do not want to put themselves in good positions. So how runners can be doing the speedrun and be in chat, how it works basically is every time you go through a loading zone, you type like one word, and then it looks like in one loading zone, you typed an entire sentence or paragraph, but it's really just like a little bit each time. We're also pretty good at typing. Yeah.
Also, just let me know when you want to swap back.
Okay. Yeah, now would probably be a good time, although whenever Simikins finishes Lanayru Twilight, it might be nice to have him on stream.
Alright, just give me the key.
Okay. So Zach's gonna do the flight here pretty soon. Yeah, so Simi, whenever he finishes Lanayru Twilight, what I'm talking about is he's going to, since he's doing the Zora armor route, he's going to, instead of what some of these other runners do, where they, like, get the bomb bag and then, like, do all of these shenanigans to prepare for doing Morphil, he's just gonna get the Zora armor, and then I think go do Morphil, like, right after that. So that's interesting, because the escort is not something that you see TP runners do every day. And there's a frame-perfect Epona slide trick where you slide off of the Epona across the gorge, and it looks like you're basically flying. It's really cool. It's also difficult. At least I think it is. Okay, so again, Zach is just getting these bugs in the river here, and you can kind of just wait until you can target them and then just dash towards them, so it's not too hard. It's a pretty consistent part of the run, which is nice. And so now he gets to fight the boss bug, and so this is kind of interesting, because we do some strats here to like try to make this a little faster. So basically, the boss bug like does an attack and then goes up in the air and then comes back down. And what we basically want to have happen is he's gonna come at us, and then we're gonna stop him so that he doesn't go back up in the air, and we can grab him immediately. And so there's a setup to do this, but sometimes it's kind of random, like how far above the platform the bug is. So sometimes you can't really grab him because he'll be too low and he'll just push you off immediately. So it'll be interesting to see if people get it. I don't think it's super hard, but sometimes he trolls, so... Yeah, so this is a double backflip attack immediately, and then grab on after the bug is risen up a little bit. And so you just rinse and repeat with that strat. And then we can also just minute charge one of the legs and bonk on the bug so that the minute charge gets ended early and the game will consider the bug dead. Now, see, that's one of those things that can happen. He started out pretty low, so Zach had to wait longer and then didn't grab on in time. So he had to do it the normal way. But we're going to see the minute charge thing here. It's pretty cool.
Did I mistake you in regards to Simikins or no?
Well, it's going to be a little bit before Simi finishes Lanayru Twilight.
Right.
Like, it should be another... Gosh, it's going to be another almost 10 minutes, and then he has to go up to Zora armor. It's going to be a while, so I don't know if you want to, like, just leave everybody else on, or if you want to just have Simi on, or... I just think it would be interesting to be able to see.
Well, Zach is currently race leading, right? So it would not make sense to swap out Zach at this point.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, he should still be leading. I don't think he's messed up anything enough to be behind Bruggles at this point. Because I'm pretty sure he was about half a minute ahead.
Well, I will just stay on this end until you tell me otherwise.
Okay, alright. Okay, so Zach is gonna go get the Howling Stone here. You'll notice we didn't get the ending blow where we normally would, because we didn't finish far in Twilight. So what Zach is gonna do instead is get this Howling Stone, so that he can get another Golden Wolf, because ending blow is actually required to beat the game. It is only required in one place, and that's at the very, very end. So... it's like literally the last input. That's what I mean by the very end. You have to use it to kill Ganondorf, otherwise it's not required. So we have to like spend 2+ minutes going out of our way just to get this stinking skill. Alright, so Dean is finishing up the boss bug, so he's only a couple minutes behind. So he's actually still within shooting distance. I know that some runners can lose a decent amount of time to just bad luck late in the game, so this could still be quite competitive. And D3 isn't that much further behind Dean. He's just like another minute 20 or so behind. Okay, so since we have the Uku here, we can kind of just finish this portal, and then Isaac gives us the bomb bag, and we just warp away, which is nice. Yeah, so Zach is in the lead right now. So, yeah. And what we're going to do is we want to ultimately get water bombs. So Zach is going to drop all of his normal bombs so that he can get water bombs out of a chest. And it's really even a little bit more complicated than that, because he's not even going to use the water bombs he gets here. He's going to get water bombs to get another bomb bag that is permanent after a save warp, so that he can then empty that bomb bag and fill that with water bombs to use for the rest of the run. It's kind of convoluted, but this is just how it works. Ooh, Bruggles is ahead by 10? Okay, I didn't realize he... Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that Zach must have lost some time in Lanayru Twilight, because he lost 22 seconds to his splits, from what I can see. So, I guess Bruggles did catch up. That's interesting. Yeah, so Zach's got the water bombs now, so what he's gonna go do is get the other bomb bag that I was talking about, which is the underwater Goron. He's in a rock, so we're gonna blow up the rock so that he gives us a bomb bag. He also did a funny trick there, where he pulled out Deku while warping. It's just cosmetic, it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so we need the water bombs just so that he can blow up this one rock. I mean, he's also going to need water bombs later, but this is the only reason we need water bombs in this bomb bag. And technically we don't even. There is a trick. It's also really hard, called Norgor, where you can skip getting the water bombs in Lakebed. I don't think anybody's going to do that in a race, though. Okay, so yeah, Zach is emptying this bomb bag as well, so he's going to continue dropping bombs for a good while here. I think he's going to do a pretty cool strat here, where he side hops off the cliff. Okay, I didn't realize, apparently D3 is also doing some sort of Zora armor route, so that's interesting. So even he's doing the escort here. I thought he would do Gorge. I was not aware. Interesting. So Zach is going to do map glitch here, which is basically pulling out the map and warping, but then interrupting the warp with Midna, so the game thinks you're in a warp state and disables all loading zones, which disables the void trigger here, so that he can go up to the top of Snowpeak. He's going to have to exit and re-enter a Howling Stone first, though. Yeah, I know that... Okay. I forgot that D3 was doing Gorge ZA. I knew that Simi was doing Bite ZA, though. Okay, so D3 put Epona in a very specific position. Simikins is going to do that too in a few minutes here. And then he's going to step between... He stepped between the wall and Epona and clipped out. Not sure why D3 did an Epona slide there. Anyways. But now he's going to do the rest of the escort, and towards the end he's going to do the Epona slide I was talking about and go across the where the bridge should be but is not because we never warped it back. Okay, so like I said, so now that Zach is up at the top of the mountain, he can't actually just directly go in the cave because loading zones are disabled. But he can howl at the stone and then exit to disable map glitch, which is very nice, so that now he can continue going along. Oh, he's doing slides for practice. Yeah, I guess you do have extra time there. Since you're waiting on the cart anyways, so that you can just do a few slides. He's getting pretty close to where he wants to do it. Is the escort method an alternative? Yeah, you can also do the Gorge LJA during the escort, but I think most people do the slide because it's quite a bit faster. So he's about to do it. Zach is going through the cave here, and then he's gonna LJA so that he spawns right next to the right next to Yeto, and can go down to Snowpeak. Okay, we'll see if he gets it. He's about to do the slide. Come on, big money no whammy. He got it. Excellent. And he got the horse all the way across too. That's really awesome. That's not easy to do. So that's what that looks like. Simi's gonna do something similar. Well, yeah, so the routes are in theory within like 30 plus seconds of each other, but generally speaking, people don't do all the optimizations to make them that close. So typically speaking, they're more like a minute or so further apart than you might expect from the theory. Okay, so Semikins is doing the little clip out of bounds here. I think that opponent position's okay. Yes, it is. You got it. Yeah, so again, I don't know a ton about the Zora armor route. I expect that both Simi and D3 are going to just warp directly back to Lakebed after getting Zora armor here, though. But it is noting that Simikins, I believe, will have already gotten the ending blow, whereas I'm not sure that D3 has. So some of the gap between them is that. Okay, so Zach is doing snowboarding. I didn't see if he did the epic shortcut, which is really cool. You'll get to see it again if Dean does it. But anyways, so this is called blind snowboarding. Since he didn't get the portal at the top, it's very cloudy here, which makes it difficult to see, especially for this one very specific jump, which is awful with limited visibility. It's this one right here. Yeah, okay, he got it. Good. Also, he's going crazy with some of these jumps. It is actually faster to continuously jump rather than to just slide. So he's saving a little time every time he jumps, basically. But it only saves time when you're going uphill. Anyways, okay, so Semi is going to do the slide pretty soon. Which is nice. Okay, so D3 did not go directly to Lakebed. Oh, right, he's going to go to Snowpeak. I'm dumb. Yeah, he still has to eat the ball and chain. Totally forgot. But he doesn't have to do all of the water bomb shenanigans. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so Zach is gonna jump across here and then claw shot through the floor, which is kind of nice. And then go over to get a small key and come back down. I mean, this is just... It's really hard to talk about exactly what's going on here. It's just really, really cool movement, and it's extremely fast. It's just like a trick every few seconds. Like, coming up here, he's gonna, like, clip through the floor, because that was totally intended, you know? And all the while, he's dropping bombs, too, which is really nice, because he's gonna have to have an empty bomb bag at some point. So, let's see. So this is the thing where he clips through the floor. Watch this. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like a specific spot where you can just fall through, which is great. And then he's gonna do Freezard skip, so he's gonna use the, he's gonna go behind the Freezard. By using a little wolf attack here, and some invincibility frames. So I'm not sure, I think Simi might have failed Gorge Slide, because I think he already went through this part. So that's unfortunate. I was not looking, because, like, I need to have 10 eyes to be able to see everything. Dean, I think, is about to do the pretty cool shortcut, though, which is very nice. Let's see if he does it. He cut the corner on this little turn here. I think he's gonna do it. Let's see. Yes, it looks so cool. I love that little jump there. Okay, anyway, Zach can just get the oh no! What was he thinking? Oh man, he died in Dark Hammer, so now he's gonna have to do Freezard clip again. Okay, does Simi get the... Yes, he got the slide this time. Very nice. Okay. So I think both of our Zora armor runners have cleared Escort by now. Now, I'm not sure if Simi does Snowpeak as well next. If he does, then I probably think we could switch back. Oh, he failed the LJA. He should be able to still get it in time. You have to jump over this trigger here. We'll see if he gets it. Yeah, there we go. It's not too bad, but it can be a little finicky. Dean bonked into the pillar. It's very nice. Not sure if that was intentional or not, because it did allow him to skip the text, which is kind of nice. Okay. Yeah, I kind of expect Simi to just go back to Snowpeak as well, but I'm gonna, like, watch to see what he does after getting Zora armor here. Zach is saying his rupee disappeared. Spoilers, Zach. You're, like, way ahead of the restream. Let's see if... So is it this back room rupee or the front room rupee? If it's the back room one, that's pretty bad. But there are backups. Yeah, okay. So he's going to have to get a bunch of extra rubies elsewhere. I'll be interested to see if he knows how to back it up. There's a lot of rubies with fire that he could get extras of. I think he already has a pretty high rupee count to begin with as well. So he should be fine. He just has to think about it for a second here. Okay, so it looks like Simi is just going to Snowpeak, so we could probably switch back to the other runners. Especially since I think Bruggles is ahead. So I don't know if we want to switch who's on stream. Like, the unique part of the routes should be basically over at this point, I think. Okay, so Zach is getting this other water bomb chest here. After he empties his bomb bag. So then he can go to Morphil. I mean, yeah, there are like small differences between routes from here to the end, but the main like difference, which was escort, is already over now. Okay, so Zach is gonna have to do a slightly different boss key setup here. Or boss key skip setup, because he has the bridge being slightly different from what we would normally have. Okay. Let's see if he gets this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I didn't know how they backed that up. Or how they like did that strat to get in, because I know it's a little bit finicky with the collision when the bridge is at different angles. Okay, so now that Zach has water bombs, he can fight Morphil. Now, if he had Zora armor, then he wouldn't need these, which is why Simi and D3 did not get them. And they're going to save a little time on Morphil, because they can do it a lot faster. But basically, what Zach's going to try to do here is hit this eyeball with a jump attack or a quick spin, and then pull out a bomb before the thing goes back in. Okay, and so now you can see he's floating with a water bomb. And so what this does is, if he lets... It's a little bit more complicated than this, but if he lets go of a water bomb while he's floating with one, then his air meter completely refills. And so now he's going to be able to... You also float up with it as well, which is kind of nice to gain some elevation while maintaining the air refill for later. So you're going to see him here. He should try to like drop down a little bit, and then let go of the water bomb whenever he's near Morphil. Now he can grab on with the iron boots. Now it's important that you have the iron boots on, because otherwise you fly up off of Morphil rather than force on equipping iron boots and then falling immediately back to the ground. So anyways, don't blink, but he pulled out another water bomb and then got another air refill. And now he's going to get onto Morphil's back again, and instead of going down to the ground, he is going to do a re-grab. So he's going to force on equip iron boots when Morphil is facing down, and then immediately re-grab, which will allow him to finish the fight. So that was very nice. Sometimes Morphil can be rude. Thankfully, Morphil there had really nice RNG. I guess we can see if Dean gets this. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, the boss key skip is a little bit finicky sometimes, especially on this first part where you're like trying to slip off into position. He should get it this time. Yeah, he looks good. So we'll get to see him do Morphil as well. Yeah, so I was thinking that we could probably swap the racers back, actually, because I'm pretty sure the unique parts of Zora armor routes are basically done, because they just fight Morphil essentially casually at this point. So yeah, or we could wait for the half hour. That'll give a little bit of time to see Dean do Morphil. And actually, we'll probably get to see the Zora armor version of Morphil, because I think D3 is going to get there pretty quickly here. It's nothing like too fancy or exciting, but it's different. So I don't know. Actually, as a side note, I don't even think that so you never actually get the hero's tunic. Well, at least not D3 definitely didn't get it. Because he never finished far in Twilight. I think Simi has, yeah, well, he's wearing it right now. He's wearing the hero's tunic. But D3 actually can't unequip the Zora armor manually. He's just stuck wearing it because the hero's tunic is not even in his inventory right now. So he's gonna get hit by fire and ice damage, like, for much more. If he gets hit by those. Thankfully, he's already done Snowpeak, though, which is nice. Okay, looks like Dean got trolled a little bit by Morphil. Yeah, definitely. Okay, thankfully he was smart enough to know not to go for that right there. You definitely do not want to try to grab with, like, really low air, because you will die. You will run out of air. Okay, looks like D3 is about to do Morphil with Zora armor. So this is obviously a much easier fight if you have Zora armor than if you have to do all the shenanigans with air refills. Again, Dean having some issues here. Hopefully this works out pretty soon. Again, Morphil can, like, totally troll you, and there's really not much you can do about it. You just have to hope that she's nice. Okay, this looks pretty good. He should be fine. Okay. Alright, so D3 is about to start the second phase of this, and so he can just swim towards Morphil and not have to worry about air at all. It's just very nice. Just swim over, put iron boots on, try to get some regrabs. Unfortunately, he was a little bit too low in trying to grab Morphil there. So I'm surprised Dean must not have gotten the regrab, but apparently still lived, so that's fine. Maybe he didn't get the grab at all. I don't know. Now he's getting the regrab. Oh, I guess he... Oh, right. I was, like, thinking incorrectly about the number of hits he'd already gotten on Morphil, because he didn't get the bomb at the end of first cycle. D3's having a little bit of trouble here, but again, thankfully Morphil is a lot more forgiving when you have Zora armor. So, it's nice. Okay, he got it. Here we go. Yes, Morphil's bad, man. Exactly. Okay, so I haven't been commenting on Zach's run very much. That's partially just because he's doing movement, basically. This is pretty much just a movement split where you just run around as Wolf until you get to Zelda. There are some interesting things coming up, though, in this segment. Like, there's some nice little strats to save a little bit of time in the rope tower. So I think Bruggles is in the lead right now, Keelio. Although I'm not sure at this point. I imagine he's pretty close to Zach.
Do you want to swap the restream back?
Yeah, I think we should do that. Because I'm really interested where Bruggles is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so Bruggles is still a little bit ahead of Zach here. So that's kind of interesting. But that's really close still. I mean, these guys are both playing pretty well. Not as well as I think they would like to be, but they're playing pretty well. Okay, so I didn't get to see the very start of Rope Tower for Bruggles, but we'll get to see it with Zach here. So basically you just want to hit this arrow away, jump attack this guy into the water, And so both these guys went for an interesting strat where you can just barely make it onto that little ledge rather than going over the rope. It saves a good amount of time. Unfortunately, it looks like Bruggle's bonked down, so now this is like within 10 seconds. It's crazy. And so you can jump attack some of these guys to like try to close the distance a little bit faster. Which is kind of cool. Sounds like Simi also failed a rupee, but he should still be able to back it up just fine. Okay, it looks like Ethernet is going to Morphil, so that'll be interesting to see if he gets that. So both Ruggles and Zach are trying for a thing called early wind cycle. If you have good enough movement, you can jump onto this bridge. Looks like they both got it, and make the earliest wind cycle rather than having to wait. Also, they're like almost in perfect sync right now, which is crazy. So this is extremely competitive. Yeah, so Ethernet and Bailey are both a bit behind. I guess Bailey's behind by a lot, unfortunately. You messed up a few things early on. And then Ethernet is probably like 8 minutes behind Bruggles and Zach, somewhere around there. So, yeah, Bruggles and Zach are definitely in the lead. There's some other guys that are like within a couple minutes of them. Like I think Dean is within a few minutes, so that could be interesting. But right now, it looks like the race is basically... the race for first place, at least, is basically between these two guys. So that should be very interesting. And also a reminder is, everybody in this race is not just competing with the people in the race, they're competing like with everybody in Wolfdash, because this is for seeding everybody. So, you know, I mean, I suppose Bruggles and Zach could finish 1-2 out of like every race. But they also definitely want to get good times to try to help their seeding. Yeah, I mean, they're like both within a second of each other. It's crazy. Hopefully that continues. That'd be really cool to see like a photo finish. Okay, it looks like Ethernet got the Morphil fight okay, so that's good. So he's done with that. And so he's gonna go to that movement segment I was talking about, up to Zelda. So that's gonna take a little bit. It looks like Bailey is heading to Snowpeak. Yeah, so Bailey's probably like, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes behind. It's hard to tell, really. But again, he had some troubles early on, and hopefully he can have a good rest of the run. Okay, so basically just broad overview of the rest of the run. It's basically a dungeon rush now. So we're gonna go directly to Arbiter's grounds, and then directly to City, and then directly from City to Palace of Twilight, and directly from Palace of Twilight to Hyrule Castle. So it's just a lot of crazy movement and dungeons from here on out. It's awesome. I don't remember, I don't think Bruggles is top 10. I think Zach is in the top 10 on the leaderboards, for sure. But Bruggles is like 14th or something. I mean, there's a lot of people that have like insanely good times. So, people have really gotten really good in the last year or so. Like, I think we have nearly 20 sub 3s now, which is just absolutely insane. It's like just a year or so ago that we were crossing the 10 mark for sub 3s. I think. Maybe it was 2 years. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was a year, though. Okay, so both Zach and Bruggles had to get that little piece of paper from Aru. Because they, you know, there had to be a MacGuffin so that they could go to the desert. So now they're gonna go to the desert. Not sure why they couldn't have just cut that out, you know? Have to get a piece of paper first, you know? Okay. And then the desert's kind of laggy, so you're gonna see them both kind of look down at the ground while they're running across the desert. This is just to try to reduce lag. Yeah, Burl's PB is a 258.49, from what I recall. I think Zach has a 255. So yeah, thankfully, since both Zach and Ruggles have the ball and chain already, they can just kind of skip getting a boar here and save a little bit of time by just using the ball and chain on one of these towers and then slipping through the next set of fences. So they can get to Arbiters a little bit faster. And they're going to do Boblin Camp, which they're going to use Map Glitch again to save a little bit more time, which is cool. Yes, there are Twilight Princess races. In fact, there's going to be a lot of them in the upcoming, like, few months. It's very nice. Okay, so they're going to break this tower with the ball and chain. And then they're gonna go through this little gap here, which was totally intended for them to be able to go through. Brothers having a little bit of problems with it, but he got it. They're still, like, extremely close, though. This is, like, within 5 seconds. It's crazy. But like I said, they're both gonna do Map Glitch here. And so that, again, disables loading zones, including voids. So now they can fall infinitely without voiding out, which they're going to use to get into the middle part of the camp, because there's a cutscene that'll just warp them back up to ground level if they cross a certain, like, area that doesn't care about their height. So they're going to do some movement to get up on, like, the corner of this little rock formation. Then they can just kind of jump down towards the middle of the tent there. Do I know which chest? You know, I think it's the... Oh, gosh. I think it's the first one, but it could be the second one. I don't remember. It's on the left. It's like either where you jump attack onto the little thing or the one after that. So, I don't know. Okay, the first one is the bombs. Alright, I knew one of them was bombs and one of them was the red rupee. So. Anyways, yeah, hopefully everybody heard that needs to get more rupees. So that is good knowledge to have to help back up missing the 100 rupee. Okay. So now both Zach and Bruggles can go into Arbiter's rounds. I didn't mention it, but you can hit King Boblin like 3 times per spin attack for some reason, which makes fighting him super easy. You just, like, get a few quick spins and then he's dead. I'm not sure that I would go for that chest, but that is an option for rupees. I think that's like a 50 rupee chest, so that's not horrible. Again, you wouldn't normally do this, but he missed a rupee, so he's gonna have to get some backup rupees here. Yeah, that is a 50. Interesting. Okay, so normally, at least in HD, most people move across this room as Wolf, but it's actually faster in the GameCube version of the game to move across as Human Link, and it's really cool looking movement. I like it at least. So Bruggles got it just fine. Looks like Zach also got it. It's actually not that hard once you learn how to do it, but it looks difficult and it looks cool. And it saves a couple of transforms there, which is nice. Yeah, so it's faster with human because you save transforming twice, which would take like 6 seconds otherwise. Even though you take like a less direct route towards the chain, it's definitely faster. Interested. Oh, I guess Ethernet is gonna miss early wind cycle. I was gonna say I was interested to see if you would make it, but you bonked, unfortunately. Yes, it's only faster on HD because of quick transforming. Otherwise, we would go in there as human. Alright, so both Bruggles and Zack are going to... Well, and probably all of our runners, actually, but both Zack and Bruggles right now are going to do a trick called Po1 skip, and then do a somewhat different route from what you would normally do casually here to get all these Poes. In fact, they're not going to go in the upper part, or like the middle section of East Wing at all. They're only going to go in the lower and upper parts of East Wing. So Bruggles throwing a bomb here to distract the Moldorms, and then targeting. They're like totally in sync, this is crazy. Then you just kind of walk into the pillar and jump towards the ledge there. Oh, unfortunately Bruggles did not pull out his sword. They're no longer in sync, dang it. Oh man. Looks like Bailey's gonna get the ball and chain here pretty soon. It's nice. And Ethernet got ending blow, or is about to. Okay, so you'll notice because they did that little trick, they're gonna do Po4 first. Now, thankfully, all of the Poes drop the Po scent if you don't already have it. So you can just sniff any Po to get the Po scent. Which is very nice, because you have to have the Po scent to go towards the second Po that you would normally get. Semi-paid fire. Oh no. Yeah, so Semi was trying to show the memo to fire and accidentally pressed A, and then, I guess, had to warp back into the area is probably the fastest way to do it, rather than going up to the Cucko thing, the flight by foul, and then coming back down. Yeah, so there's a way to manipulate that Po. I didn't get to see if both of them got it. I think they did, because both of those looked pretty fast. But you can get them to immediately start spinning quickly on the second phase, which is really nice. Okay, so both of them are going to get the Po scent here, and then they're going to push this block 4 times so that it'll save its position and be out of the way so that they can run back this way next time rather than having to do Po1 skip again. And so this different route does save like a minute in terms of the rooms it doesn't have to do. Now, it won't save a minute if you walk around the chest 5 times. But, you know, normally we don't miss that chest that many times. Okay. Alright, so they're both going to head towards the second Po. Now, the order here is basically 4, 2, 3, and of course you skip Po1, which is why it's called Po1 skip. But really it saves time not because of skipping the Po, but because of skipping some rooms. In fact, you can do a similar route, I think like 1, 4, 2, 3 or something like that. Or no, 1, 2, 4, 3, if you do the route, and you only lose like 5 seconds. It's kind of interesting. Anyways, that aside. Yeah, so this next room can be a little finicky. Sometimes these little bubbles, that's what the skulls are called, want to get in your way, but you can just spin attack them to make them a non-issue. Yeah, this is not a low percent race. I don't think that would be a very interesting race. just like staring at a wall for 12 hours. You guys want to watch that? Oh man. Okay. So you can actually not kill this rat and then get him to hit you off the thing, which is what Zach is trying to do. Yep, and that saves a little bit of time because you can move again earlier. It's kind of risky because sometimes he hits you off a little too early. Yeah, we're doing low percent now, obviously. We're just gonna switch mid-run to low percent. Okay, Bailey's clipping into Morphil. You got the boss key skip, that's good. Hopefully you can get Morphil. Okay, so now both Zach and Bruggle are going through the dungeon completely backwards to go from the sort of Po 4 area towards Po 3. So this is the Po that's behind a door and surrounded by a couple of redeads. And so they actually got a key so that they can open this door that Bruggle's going to open in a couple seconds here from the backside of the door, which is kind of interesting. And then they do the room backwards. Unfortunately, Zach got owned by the redead, but hopefully he can fix that. He's still getting owned by the redead. Hopefully he doesn't game over. We'll see if Bruggles does this correctly. I mean, it's a little bit of RNG whether or not... No, he didn't get it either. Still got a pretty fast version of it, though. It's a little bit of RNG whether or not the minute charge goes the right way to be able to hit the redead twice and kill it there. But the second redead totally ignores you, which is very nice. Okay, and then since the game only checks for the last 3 pose, since it assumes you have to get the first to get the second, they can just go through the door now, even though they didn't get all the pose. So again, Zach and like Bruggles are really close right now. And so, by the way, going backwards through the dungeon here is going to continue. Because, you know, who likes going through dungeons the proper way? Not me. And so we're just going to jump towards the chest here, because we can just do that, you know? And then we're just going to go through the spinner room backwards, which is also very nice. So, yeah, and then we can just go to Death Sword very, very quickly. Now, I think it's a bit of an open question if either of these runners, Zach or Bruggles, are going to go for Death Sword skip here. I know both of them normally go for it in any percent attempts, but I'm not sure if they're going to go for it in a race. So, Zach, I think, got the wrong chest there. He meant to get the other chest. The other one has rubies in it. Oh, I was initially right. It is the first chest, not the second one. Okay. Well, I have been vindicated. Simi was wrong. Oh well. Okay, so we can do kind of interesting strat here. We can trap this first Stalfos in this corner with a bomb, and then get these other guys to follow us over to the wall and also get exploded. We can get all the way up to the gate before these things explode. Yes, you lied, Simi. Shame on you. Okay, so they're gonna go to Death Sword here. And so there's a way to do this fight quickly without having to do multiple cycles if you just continuously slash rather than finishing any of your combos. But they might go for Death Sword skip. I suppose it's possible. So we're gonna see in a few seconds here. Yeah, no matter what, they have to do this first part the same, basically. There's like a slightly faster way of doing the first part, but yeah, so Zack is doing the slightly faster method where you do B attacks rather than grabbing. It saves a little bit of time. Oh, looks like Ruggles is going for Death Sword Skip. Very nice. Okay, I'll be interested to see if that works. Zack is also going for it. Alright, so we're going to see top level play here and see if either of them get it. Ruggles got it first try. That's excellent. That really is awesome. Let's see if Zack gets this. I mean, this could be a big time difference if Zack fails. Hopefully he'll get it. I think he waited a little long. No, he got it. Wow, both of them got it first try. That's actually insane. So they're still neck and neck. Gosh, these guys are like crazy. This song represents this run. You mean the depressing MDH sound? Oh gosh. Don't feel that bad about it, Bailey. It happens to all of us. Okay, Ethernet going for pull one skip. Oh, is he gonna get it? He's buffering for it. Looks like he got it. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, I guess I totally glossed over the fact that Bailey must have gotten Morphil perfectly fine, because he's in the MDH segment now. I was too intent on watching Zack and Bruggles be, like, tied. You know, actually, yes, I can see his splits right now. Bruggles is on PB pace. By like 10 seconds. And he has a couple minutes to his best to spare, so he might get it. I don't know. There's still some RNG coming up, notably with Stallord, which is a boss fight that Zack and Bruggles are both about to enter. Sometimes the Style Troopers, I think is what they're called, those little things that pop out of the ground that are kind of like zombie skeletons or something, can be kind of mean where they pop up. So hopefully they'll pop up in a good spot so that Zack and Bruggles can quickly do this boss fight. I think both of them should be able to do the second phase strat perfectly fine, but it is also pretty cool to look at. It's a quick knockdown where you can immediately knock down the head when he's trying to fly around the arena, rather than going all the way up the spinner tracks first. And before Zack's 2-minute comeback? Oh, you mean to his PB? Yeah, maybe. Not sure that's gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible that Zack and Ruggles will be, like, completely tied just based on Stallord luck at the end of Stallord. Of course, they could just be further apart, who knows. Okay, Ruggles looks pretty good, except he kind of got hit by the hand there. So this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes these things just don't line up very nicely. So he's struggling a little bit. See, then this is the thing. It's like, you can just have luck like that, and then you lose a 15-second lead. Immediately. Just because Bony Boy decided to be mean. So. But now we have the second phase coming up, where both Bruggles and Link, or both, excuse me, both Bruggles and Zack Link are going to try to roll 5 times, and then at a very specific time, they're going to press the spinner and get onto the tracks, like right next to Stallord's head, so that they can knock him down instantly. Although I think Zack Link might do a slightly different method where he does a roll stab rather than trying to time the spinner press, so we'll see how that looks. Okay, Zach is going for it. And he got it. There you go. So that saves like 30 seconds. Let's see if Brubbles gets it. He also got it. Yeah. It's really not that difficult to do. And at top levels, runners are basically never going to miss it. But yeah, then you can just chain quick spins to kill him in one cycle. So, Bailey had some problems with a number of early game tricks, and also didn't save at a specific time, and then just kind of misplayed the backup, so he lost a bit more time to that. So that's why he's kind of far behind. I mean, just you guys should keep in mind, this game is like really difficult. It's kind of amazing that these guys are, you know, doing this at all, and not just getting stuck in one spot for like an hour. Some of these tricks are really hard. Yeah, he forgot to save in Bo's house, and so he had to do a backup for it. And I think that cost him like 7 minutes or something, so it was not excellent. Although I don't remember if he got Iron Boots or not. That's also something that you could skip, because you just need to be inside Bo's house. But yeah, this game, the speedrun has like a lot of difficult tricks in it. So, why would saving at Bo's house matter? So you do a trick before getting the Boomerang, called early boss flags, and to do it, you want to have a file that can load into the King Boblin fight, and that's like a very specific subset of files. And so Bo's house happens to work for that, and so that's why we use that. But yes, okay, yeah, Zaylu, I know. I didn't see that it was you, so you do know that. Yeah. So basically, what you want to do as the backup actually is just game over, exactly. But he didn't know that. I commented on this earlier. Because I was kind of confused what he was doing. I thought that he failed to save at Boomerang, actually. Which would make sense for why he was redoing parts of the run, but he was at, like, Goats, so that wouldn't really make sense, unless he failed to save at Bo's house as well, so... Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, backup strats that not everybody is gonna know, for races, so it's just like a different sort of, you just have to play like a little bit differently and know more backups to do well in tournaments like this. Zach is having problems with early City in the Sky here, unfortunately. So the lead changed again. So basically what you want to do here is, whenever Link's head is basically in that little hole there, you want to transform, assuming you have a good angle, and then you can just kind of walk through, which is very nice. Yeah, well, there's a version of early boss flags where you get them during the initial back in time, actually, which is interesting. Which uses something similar to that, where you game over. But it's like 20 seconds slower than getting the Forest Temple back in time first try. Yeah, I guess people who have done Jotwad know about that. Jotwad as in jump off the tower and die. Or jump off the watchtower and die. Gosh, I messed it up. So this is why we need the 300 rupees. And so Zach is going to finish off his collection of 300 by getting this red here. But we need that to repair the cannon. So again, like, Zach and Brugles are still within like 15 to 20 seconds of each other. It's crazy. It's just going back and forth. We're headed for a photo finish. Oh no, Bailey walked into the plum cutscene. I can relate to that. That really sucks. It doesn't lose that much time, but it just feels so bad to walk into that. Okay, so City in the Sky is it's really a cool dungeon in the speedrun. We do a lot of like insane strats and movement. Like in the first room, you're gonna see us do some LJAs with the Boomerang. So these are also like really cool. To just, you know, fly across the gaps, because it's just so cool that we can do that. Looks like Ethernet is also going for Death Sword Skip. We'll see if he gets it here. So he does the slash method, which is slightly slower, but I think a little bit more consistent. It gives you a little bit more time to get into position. Unfortunately, he did not get it, so hopefully he gets it the next time. Okay. So, Ethernet Boy's struggling with DSS. I'll be curious if he decides to go for the normal strat or just continue going for DSS. DSS being Death Sword Escape, if I didn't already specify. Okay, so Brogo's transformed a little bit far away from the door there, so that he can open the door at essentially maximum distance, which keeps the fan in the room he's in now from turning on. You can't see it right now, but just trust me, it's off. Looks like Zach also got it. And so that saves a little time, because you don't have to like go all the way around the dungeon. So, very nice. Yeah, it looks like Ethernet ended up beating Death Sword the normal way. So I guess that's the first time we've seen that done the normal way today. I didn't comment on it, but you just do repeated slashes without finishing a combo, and then he just dies before he flies back up. I see neither Brugles nor Zach are going for a small key skip. I can't blame them. I don't think anybody's actually done that RTA yet, just because of how difficult it is. I know there's like one person trying to get it, but they have yet to quite get it. They've been trying for like months, I think. Just goes to show how hard it is. Okay, so what Rel is going to do here is he's going to avoid triggering this cutscene. And so he'll side hop onto this little thing and then jump on this railing. Unfortunately, he failed. I think he's going to cloche at the P-hat and do the drop method. If he gets it in time. He did. Okay, good. So that saves the time of watching the cutscene where Argorock breaks the bridge, and it also keeps your save point from changing from where you got the small key. Unless you get Adam Glitch, but we won't go into that. Because nobody gets Adam Glitch. Except for Adam and a couple other people, very, very rarely. So we're gonna cause this other bridge to come out here and go through another few really fun and I just think they're fun rooms, honestly. I'm not sure if they look cool. They certainly are fun. So Adam Glitch is not the crash. Adam Glitch is where you do that cutscene skip, and yet when you save warp, you still get put at the start of the dungeon. And it's very rare. We still have no idea why it happens, but it's happened like 4 or 5 times throughout TP speedrunning, like among everybody. It's one of the mystery glitches. Another one of them is Devil Glitch, which is the thing I was talking about before, where the meteor cutscene doesn't play and you can't actually break the ice. Which we also have no idea why that happens. So anyways, so we get some cool looking rooms here. Where we just LJA across a few gaps. and then do some Uku shenanigans. Yeah, unfortunately HD doesn't get to do these rooms, which is sad, because these are really fun. Ooh, that's very cool. Ruggles didn't even do the LJ where he targeted above the door or anything like that. He did an actual enemy LJ, essentially. I guess he didn't target the keys, so it wasn't technically an enemy LJ, but it could have been if he did target the keys. And hence it would have been allowed and glitchless if he did that with the keys. Okay, so in this upcoming room, our runners are going to skip turning on a couple of fans. I think at least one, if not two. Because they're just gonna like let go of Uku at just the right spot so that they grab the ledge, rather than having to turn on some fans. So we'll probably see Bruggles do it slightly before Zach does it. He's still in the lead by like a few seconds here. Oh no, he missed the thing. Okay, good. He put on iron boots so he didn't go on the other side, thankfully. Okay, yeah, so he runs off this ledge and then drops to grab the thing. I guess we already saw Zach do it, but I was just looking at Bruggles' screen. Yeah, so here it's really nice. You can just grab this Uku and fall all the way down. Okay, so both of these runners are about to start a trick known as Rolfo skip. So if you target a precise spot, I think it's like just a couple pixels, or maybe even one, on the target, while standing in a like very specific spot, which you can use setups to get into, then you can claw shot over to the chest without having to like actually beat the Rolfos. It's a little bit tricky because, of course, you're also doing it under the time pressure of the Rolfos attacking, but hopefully these guys get it. Zach got it. Okay. And let's see about Bruggles. You got it too. Very nice. Yeah, that's... Well, I was going to say it's harder than it looks, but I'm not sure that that looks particularly easy, so I don't know. So yeah, when they save warp, they get put next to this chest rather than at the start of the dungeon. And that saves a little bit of time. It's not a ton. Most of the time save in the cutscene skip is just the cutscene skip. But it's a little bit. And also they don't have to skip triggering the fan again, thankfully. Yeah, so like I said, the fan is off, so they can just kind of go up to the boss key. And then get another precise claw shot to get up to the second floor here, and an LJ across this little gap. Very nice. Anyways, so once they get the boss key, they can just go straight to Argorock. Now you might be thinking, well, don't you have to turn on the fans to get across the next room? And no, you don't. You can use yet more LJAs to get across. As well as a nice little trick with the claw shots here, which is where if you target the very top of these grates, then you will actually, or from above as well, then you will grab the top of these fans, rather than like being stuck in claw shot mode. So see, like, what Bruggles did right there. I'm still amazed how close Bruggles and Zach are. It's just absolutely crazy. And this has been for most of the run, too. Pretty much since Boomerang, they've been, like, extremely close. Or even before that, honestly. It's crazy. Crazy. Okay, so now we have the notorious Fan Tower, where our runners are going to try to make the fastest possible cycle. It's somewhat difficult because you have to aim a little bit precisely for a few of these, and especially for the last one. So we'll see if they get it. Meanwhile, it looks like Ethernet is about to enter City in the Sky, and Bailey is getting the second Poe in Arbiter's grounds. Very nice. Oh, Bruggles having... Let's see if he gets this still. He did. Okay, good. Zach missed the fast cycle on the top one. Bruggles almost got it, actually, but both of them had to go around a second time, or a third time? Bruggles had to wait for the third cycle, now he's getting destroyed by the Chews. Oof. That's too bad. And just like that, we have another lead change. Good grief. Okay, so both of these guys are going to do what's known as Rob Shot, where they basically stand at a specific spot, claw shot all the way to the top of the vines, which is especially nice on GameCube, where climbing is very, very slow. As that got it pretty quickly there. Okay. So yeah, fun fact, if you just stand over by one of these pillars, or are claw-shotted onto one of the pillars, then then Argorock does not actually, like, do the attack where he rakes his claws across the floor here. It's very nice. So you can actually see both versions of it. Zach was on the ground and Bruggles is on the pillar. Both work. And then there's enough time to actually quickly grab onto the grating here and then immediately grab Argorock again, so that you can skip having Argorock go all the way back around again. Bailey's having a little bit of trouble with Poe 3 room. Again, it's a difficult room. These redeads are just kind of mean. Okay, so both Bruggles and Zach got the quick regrab. It's good. Yeah, multiple people have had problems with Poe 3 room at this point, so not an uncommon issue. So in the second phase of the Argorock fight, actually let me see if Ethernet gets the fan skip here. I think he's gonna be fine. Okay, good. He didn't, like, walk super fast towards the door, that's good. Okay, so in the second phase, what Zach and Bruggles are gonna do is they're gonna, like, actually get the flame to go over them and trick Argorock to thinking they've fallen so that they can grab him a little faster. And they do this on 3 cycles, although the third cycle strat is a little bit different from the first 2. Basically, they want to grab the P-Hat whenever they hear Argorock scream. And then they want to, as soon as Argorock starts shooting flames, drop a little bit, and then claw shot the next one. So Zach did it pretty well there. You see that Argorock stopped shooting his flames, and you can just go directly to his back. Very nice. You can do the same exact thing for the second cycle. And then the third cycle is a little bit different, although I'll explain that when we get to there. Meanwhile, let's see what's going on with these other guys. So Bailey is heading towards Spinner, and Ethernet has just gotten the small key. He's about to do the skip of the cutscene skip. Okay, I think Zach is about to do the third cycle strat, so we'll see that. So you claw shot the P-hat on the same queue, the same audio queue that is, and then you claw shot 4 P-hats away before turning around and putting on iron boots as soon as the flame passes that P-hat. And then once he starts shooting his flames again, you take off iron boots and claw shot his back. It's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, so Ethernet has an interesting TP disk. I think interesting is the best way to put it. Where sometimes, I think because his disk is like really scratched in weird ways, he'll get very odd glitches that literally nobody else gets. One of which is dying or like falling off of Argorock or something like that before, like, or right after finishing the final blow. So it triggers the cutscene and then he doesn't have to watch it. So he might get that here. But nobody else can really do that because they don't have extremely scratched discs. I also don't think it's completely consistent. So, I mean, I guess it'll be interesting, but I doubt it's going to happen. Okay, so the next dungeon coming up is Palace of Twilight. Again, we can just literally go straight to Palace of Twilight from here, which is awesome. And it's just, you know, it's just a lot of movement, but I still think it's a really fun dungeon to do. And especially the boss fight is really cool. Like, you might be wondering how they're going to do the Zant, or the Morphil phase of the Zant fight. Of course, they still have water bombs, so you might have figured it out by now. But that'll be really interesting to see when that comes up. So I think to go for it, Ethernet would have to be on like 1 heart or fewer, or something like that. We could probably check in on some of the other guys. I think it might be a good idea to try to keep Zach and Brubbles both on stream, though. Zach is slightly ahead. It's like 20 seconds. But they're like really, really close. There are 7 people, I think, in this race right now. So the other 3 are Dean Machine, D3 Lighted, and gosh, I hope that whoever this is not getting mad at me for not remembering who it is. Oh, it's Simmykins, right. Yeah. So those are the other 3. I'm sorry, I briefly forgot that Simmy was doing this race. Yeah, Zach is salty about Simmy lying about where the red ruby was in Spinner Room. But, you know, you should never trust your competition. Okay, so now we're gonna get Dean Machine and D3. Both of them look to be in the Argorock fight, so they're, you know, like 5 minutes behind Zach and Bruggles, I think. And thank you for switching out the streams, by the way, I appreciate it. We hadn't had an update on these guys in a bit. So they are, like, really quite close. I think they're within about 30 seconds of each other. Maybe even closer than that, because Dean is about to enter the cutscene that D3 is in right now. So that may be, like, as close of a race for, I think, what's going to be 3rd place as the race for 1st is going to be. It's pretty cool. Okay, and now we have Simi. Okay, where's Simi? So Simi is a little bit further behind those guys. He's probably like 4 minutes behind D3 and Dean. So, yeah, it's definitely looking like Zack and Bruggles, and then Dean and D3, and then Simi, and actually Simi and Ethernet might be kind of close to each other. I'm not quite sure. And then Bailey after that, because of course Bailey had some problems in the early game, unfortunately. Okay, so Zack and Bruggles are both going to try to do very specific amounts of damage on Phantom Zant in each go-round. So they're going to try to do 1 stab and 2 quick spins twice, and then 1 stab and 3 quick spins the 3rd time. And that's going to do exactly enough damage to kill him. And after the first 2, he will not try to warp away with that amount of damage. Bailey's gonna skip Stallard, obviously. Okay, so we got Dean back on. So we can see how close Dean and D3 are here. I think they're within a cycle of each other here. So, it's pretty crazy. Looks like Bruggles also did the fight well. Yeah, we have 2, like, really close groups. I think Simi and Ethernet are also pretty close, but I'm not sure that they're quite as close as Zack and Bruggles or Dean and D3. Like, this is pretty crazy. Apparently Bailey got a good stalwart. Very nice. Okay, so both Bruggles and Zack are playing what I like to call orb basketball here. It's a lot of what this segment is. You just throw these orbs towards holes and just hope that they go in. I take it by Bailey's reaction that he missed quick knockdown. Oh, he didn't split. Never mind. Okay. Alright, so D3 has beaten Argorock, and Dean is very close behind. Very interesting. So what you just saw Bruggles do, by the way, is an L slide. So if you press L and hold the direction right after grabbing something that's coming towards you, you'll just slide in that direction. It's very nice. Bruggles did the famous putting on iron boots like a couple frames early. I can totally relate to that. I did that a few days ago. It's very, very easy to do that. And then we can just LJA across to the east wing rather than waiting on these very slow platforms. Okay, so this next room that Zack is entering now is probably the single worst room in the run. And I think most people probably agree with that. That's at least my opinion. It's very not fun at all. This Zant head is extremely rude, basically. Yeah, so Zack is trying to wait a little bit longer before making the jump to make it easier to cross these platforms. Thankfully he got a nice spawn, although it's not ideal. Ideally they spawn in like the back left or back right, because then you can get across all of the platforms in one go and still get to the Zant head in time. So we'll see what Bruggles gets in terms of luck. Hopefully he also makes it. It's just very easy to fall down in this room, unfortunately. Okay, so it looks like he's not going to fall, and he made it. Very nice. So that was basically ideal. So very good by Bruggles there. Yeah, and after a little bit more movement in combat, both Zack and Bruggles are going to go into the Phantom Zant room. By the way, I didn't mention this before, but you saw Dean right there, and probably Ether right before that, put on their iron boots before exiting city. That's so that when they slash, like immediately, they will land on the bridge rather than in the water, which saves a pretty good amount of time. Okay, so all 4 of our runners here are in the Palace of Twilight now. It's pretty cool. Zack, I think, is inching a little further ahead over time. Bruggles has had a few problems in the first half of the city. Unfortunately, I don't think that Bruggles is going to be able to PvP with this run. He might do it, but he'd require extremely good Zelda luck. Among other things, frankly. Looks like Zack had a good fight against Phantom Zant 2. Okay, I'm gonna try to see exactly how far apart they are. Okay, so 227.39 is when Zack got this haul. So I guess we'll see when Bruggles gets there, because I'm really curious. I think it's like a little bit over 30 seconds. From what I see, Bruggles' best possible time is still 30 seconds better than his PB. So I still think that he could do it, but he's had a few struggles. So okay, so Bruggles is like, what was that, 35-ish seconds behind Zack? Maybe more like 34 or 33. So again, pretty darn close. So let's see. I'm gonna see how far apart Dean and D3 are. It's worth noting that D3 is going to save some time on the Zant Morphil phase. I have to reload these real quick. Let's see. See if I can still figure out how far apart D3 and Dean are. Oh no. It's too far behind. Dang it. Okay, I got you. No, Bruggles was 10 seconds ahead of his PB. I don't remember when exactly, but he was ahead. I think it was at, like, gosh, what was it? Was it Spinner or something? I think it was Spinner. Pretty sure it was Spinner segment. Yeah, but I think we can stay on these guys' streams until the end, pretty much, because this should be, like, pretty interesting to watch, these 2 photo finishes here. It looks like D3 is actually ahead of Dean at this point. I think that was already the case, and I was just incorrect in where I thought they were. But they're pretty darn close, actually. I think this is like, what, 15 to 20 seconds? It's crazy. Yeah, we have like 1 million TP runners in chat right now. It's crazy. Yeah, okay, so they're like 20 seconds apart, basically. But D3 is going to save some time on Zant Morphil phase, and then lose some time in Hyrule to lack of bombs. So, it's really actually a little bit hard to say. I think D3 is like actually in the lead, but I'm not sure by how much exactly. Okay, so I haven't mentioned anything about Zack or Bruggles in a couple minutes here. So this is a difficult room that Zack is doing, just because there's like a lot of little things that can mess up. You have to play orb basketball, which is kind of difficult. to do quickly, especially throwing into holes that you can't see. Looks like they're both gonna get it just fine though. And then there's a few LJAs, the last one of which is definitely finicky, and the second to last one sometimes messes up as well. So, see, Bruggle's got that LJA, and Zach is probably gonna get this one. Okay, good, he got it. Both of those lose a lot of time if they fail. Looks like D3 is not having a perfect East Wing first room, but it's... Ooh, that was really close. He almost fell off. Again, that room is like really hard if you just don't get good spawns. Looks like Dean got a good spawn. Hopefully he makes it to the end. Yeah, he's definitely gonna make it. Good. Zach is trying to get a rupee for no reason. Very nice. Yeah, again, among the runners on stream right now, D3 is the only one not doing no Zora armor gorge. He's doing Zora armor gorge instead. And Simikins is doing Zora armor bite route. So we do have 3 different routes. It does make it a little bit difficult to compare the runners and where they are, but at this point, most of the time loss between routes is over. It's like within 30 seconds or something like that left, so. Pretty much what you see right now is close to how far these runners will be apart if they both, or if they all play well for the rest of the way. Is Zach on a half heart? Yes, he is. Yeah. So if Zach gets hit by the Deku Baba in this next room, then I think he dies. But otherwise, he should be just fine. It's really not that bad being on half a heart here. I guess Bruggles is killing those Zant heads before getting the key, or did he already get the boss key? He might have already gotten the boss key, and I just wasn't paying attention. Okay, so Zach is going to do a trick called Early Platform. So what he's trying to do is, there's a platform at the top of the room that has like 15-second cycles. And he's just trying to make the earliest possible cycle. And, you know, usually it's not too bad, but sometimes it can give runners problems. Yeah, I know, I totally understand that, Darby Suckling. It's really interesting, like, that we can just go this fast. How much time? So it depends. If you have enough bombs to do the phase again, then you don't lose that much time. You just lose basically the amount of time of the game over. But ideally, you just don't fail it at all. Of course, if you waste enough bombs so that you don't have enough bombs to finish the cycle, then you're basic. I mean, I don't think that you can do anything, really. I guess you could go back to a previous save, but the last save is like 20 minutes ago. So you definitely would not want that to happen. Really, it's even more than that. It would be a lot of time. You could alternatively exit Palace of Twilight extremely slowly, get water bombs, and come back, but yeah, you definitely don't want to fail Morphil phase. Also, Puggles nearly messed up that LJA. That was very, very close. I think he made normal cycle too, because that didn't look right for early cycle. But But yeah, if Bruggles was like an inch further to the right, he would have fallen. It looks like Dean actually passed D3. That's interesting. So I don't know how that bodes. I think D3 is going to lose more time to Hyrule than he's going to save in Morphil phase, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, you have to make sure you have at least 2 water bombs going into the Zant fight if you don't have Zora armor. Otherwise, you'll just die. Because the strat takes 2 water bombs to do. Speaking of which, Zack is in the Zant fight now. You can just see up and immediately throw your Boomerang at Zant. Get him to come down, which is very nice. And you only really have to get the final slash on him in most of these phases. The final slash of a combo, that is. Also, it looks like he golded Enter Zant, which is very nice. Yeah, so there's a 2-frame trick to 1 cycle this phase here. See if Zack gets it or not. So Bruggles is starting this fight now. So you do 3 slashes and hold on the 3rd one. And then once you get to like a specific timing, you let go of B and do the final slash. Zack is getting a heart here for some reason. Not sure he really needs it, but you never know. Maybe he'll take 4.5 hearts of damage to the Blizzetta phase. Okay, so as you see with Zack, after getting the first phase done, or the first cycle of this phase done, then you pull out a water bomb to refill your air, and then once his eyeballs pop out of the ground, essentially, you want to pull out another bomb and go towards the one that's furthest away from you, and that's where Zant will spawn. Now, Zack did a little differently from what I would do it, so I guess I didn't quite accurately describe his strat, but that's what I do at least. It's the waiting for the eyes to come out of the ground. I do stand in a different spot, though, so we'll see what Bruggles does, I guess. And then here, after getting this first set of hits on Zant in the Ook phase, you can just roll to the middle, because he's always going to spawn in the middle, and pull out your ball and chain to knock him down. Okay, so now Bruggles is doing the Zant Morphil phase as well. And so the correct combo here, I believe, is right, left, up, down. Yeah. That's the fastest combo you can do in water. And it really matters, because if you do a bad combo, then you just kinda run out of air before you can pull out a water bomb and refill your air. And so, with this Blizzetta phase, you just want to chase him down and get the 4th hit on him on both phases. The only important one is the 4th one on both of those. And I believe it's 7 hops until he's vulnerable to start the combo on. So if you just count his hops, then you can hit him after 7. Okay, Bruggles made it past Morphil phase. You're gonna see a really cool strat by Zack here, although I blinked, so I think I missed it. Where you can beat that final phase really fast, because his moves are extremely predictable. So Zack, I think, saved some time over Bruggles on Palace 2, because Zack's Palace 2 was honestly incredible. I think he got the one... Yeah, he got that Gorn Lines 1 cycle too, so that's pretty darn good Palace 2. So I guess we'll see how far behind Bruggles is now. This is still within, like, Zelda range, where Zelda could turn this run either way. It's really hard to tell. And same goes for Dean and D3. D3's a little bit behind, but Zelda could catch him up, presumably. Yeah, so I think Bruggles is like at least a minute behind now. So this is widened a good bit here, because Zach was just so good. Unfortunately, he fails the final phase strat. And once you mess it up once, it becomes like difficult to get it back on track. I believe the final strat should still work for this, although he didn't realize it was a top. Hopefully he doesn't spin here. Oh, he almost got the backup. Okay. Oh, he got it there. So Dean and D3 are both going for early platform here. Dean, we're about to see if Dean gets it or not. I haven't been paying too much attention. It looks like he made it by a mile, so that's good. We'll see about D3. But yeah, both Bruggles and Zach are heading towards Hyrule Castle now. Bruggles, we're gonna see do the mailman skip again for the last time in the run. And fun fact, you can bonk into the cutscene here to watch the to watch Squidna destroy the barrier. Okay. I don't know if that's early cycle for D3 or not, because I wasn't watching, but I mean that looks pretty much right for early. Maybe that was second cycle and I just couldn't tell. Given how far behind he is, I think that was the same? It's the early cycle? I don't know though. Who's game over? I think Zach game overed in Snowpeak. Yeah, in the Dark Hammer fight. That's what it was. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was really sad. How did D3 fall behind Dean? Yeah, I think... Well, probably what D3 said. I didn't see what exactly it was, but... Yeah, there's been a couple lead changes there. But they're still pretty close, honestly. Like, both of these sets of guys are within they're within Zelda range of each other, essentially. So if Zach got a bad Zelda and Bruggles got a really good Zelda, then, you know, Bruggles could maybe catch up. And same goes with D3. He could possibly catch up if Dean has a bad Zelda. I mean, there's still, like, other things that the runners could mess up, but I kind of trust all of these guys to get pretty good Hyrule segments, honestly. But you never know. I mean, the final tower climb is notorious for voids. Yes, Zelda Wallflower, you can change everything. Yes, you are Puppet Zelda, obviously. Oh, man. It looks like both Zach and Bruggles can still get sub 3 though, which would be really awesome. I mean, it definitely seems like Zach is going to get sub 3, which is really crazy for a race, but Zach has been playing amazingly recently, so I'm not super shocked. I think Zach is ahead by like a bit over a minute. Yeah, it looks like Well, judging by how far they're into these segments, I'm gonna guess it's almost 2 minutes actually. Yeah, Burgles probably won't get it, but you never know. I mean, if you got a really nice Zelda, I could definitely see it happening. That actually would be somewhat reasonable at that point. You got a perfect Zelda. So Zach was trying to get a backflip after that King Bulblin cutscene, but unfortunately did not, so he cannot save warp and has to walk all the way back. I mean, he could save warp, but it would lose time at that point. It only saves time if you skip the text by doing it. Okay, so Burgles is about to fight King Bulblin 4, which I didn't comment on yet. I don't think I've commented on the cutscene skips either. I mean, Zach just skipped a cutscene by jumping at a precise angle and skipping the cutscene before the barrier spawned in. Or rather, before he walked into the barrier, so that he could just walk out of it again. But the King Bulblin 4 fight, you definitely don't want to get hit here, because he does 3 hearts of damage, which is really bad. But the optimal strat is to just chain spins, and then backflip away whenever he's about to swing, and then jump spin him again after that. Burgles struggled a little bit with it, messed it up just a bit. Also, it's fast to kill that Dark Nut with the ball and chain. There's a lot of things going on, it's like hard to keep up with this, sorry. There's just so many cool strats in Hyrule Castle, like that Boomerang strat to turn out the lantern. It's great. I'm gonna be interested to see what strat Zach uses for the Dynalphos. I know there's a number of different strats. There's 2 that are prominently used for the bomb. I'm not sure which one he's gonna use though. So there's a strat where you pull out a bomb immediately and time the throw, while like juking out the Dynalphos basically. But no, he's gonna do the one where he baits him over to the wall and then throws the bomb into the wall, which also works. I think they're basically the same amount of time that they take. This place, yeah. Yeah, so you just saw Burgles do the cutscene skip again. Just kind of jump attack, and then skip the cutscene before you walk into the barrier. It skips having to fight any of those enemies. And I guess this is the first time we've seen optimal Aralphos fighting. If these guys didn't do Aralphos skip, they would do something similar where you just want to like hit the Aralphos with the ball and chain. And so that's the fastest way to kill him. Because you can do it in one cycle that way. Okay, now Zach is going to see a bunch of guys that we haven't seen basically the entire game. Like, we see Russell, I think, once. We never see Shad. As far as we know in this speedrun, Shad does not exist until now. We do see Aru to get the memo. But that's pretty much it. We don't see Ashe at all. So these guys are just gonna be here. And then Aru has a bazooka. And then for some reason, Russell thinks that, like, a hawk is comparable to a bazooka. You know, it's like you have a bazooka, but then you also need a hawk for some reason. Because the hawk adds so much value to the bazooka, obviously. So, anyways, now that they have appeared with a bazooka and a hawk, we can survive some fight that we totally were not going to survive with our... well, I guess we don't have the bow and arrow, but we were totally not going to survive anyways by just ignoring the enemies. And we can move on towards the final boss. Have I considered Borb is Borb? I mean, I guess that's a fair point. I had not considered that. But here we're going to see Bruggles doing this strat here. So Zach is showcasing, you can roll diagonally across these blocks so that they don't fall before you get to the next block. Unfortunately, he paused before skipping the cutscene. But yeah, pretty much the hardest part of Towers passed at this point. I mean, the aiming is somewhat difficult, but you don't really risk voiding too much on the rest of it, unless you, like, try to rush the spinner part. Like, you can go slowly enough on the spinner part where you can get it every single time. Oh, he's trying the thing! Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Awesome to see in a race. And he totally got it, too. That's insane. Yeah, you technically don't have to kill those Dynalphos. I don't think I've seen people, like, go for that in attempts very much, but that's awesome. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, so I think D3 is, like, 30 seconds or so behind Dean. Bruggles is a couple minutes behind Zach at this point. So I'm... You know, I mean, it's never, like, completely certain, but I'm pretty sure Zach is going to beat Bruggles at this point. So it's probably going to be 1 Zach and 2 Bruggles, but you never know. I mean, they still have to both do Zelda, so... the minimum number of cycles on Puppet Zelda here is 7. That is getting a lightning ball in the 1st, 3rd, and 7th cycles, and then some combination of triangles and dashes in between. But it can definitely go higher than that. So if you don't get the lightning ball on the 1st cycle, then you're guaranteed at least 8. And same goes if you don't get the lightning ball in the 3rd cycle. The first 2 have to be at least 2 apart, and the second 2 have to be at least 4 apart. So, anyways, what we're hoping for, ideally, is just lightning and dashes. Okay, good. I got my streams to reload there. I was having trouble for a second. Oh, I can't see chat now. Hang on, let me try to reload this game. So I haven't seen what Zach is getting in this Puppet Zelda, unfortunately. So I don't know how many cycles he's on. But everything's good now. Yay. Okay, so Bro's gonna... Yeah?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 3rd cycle, but again, I don't know much about the game.
Well, he must have gotten a 7 cycle, considering that he's basically besting with that Zelda fight. So, yeah, that definitely looks like a 7 cycle, which is crazy. That's really good. That's the best it can be. Hopefully Bruggles gets as good of luck, because he could still get a sub 3 if he gets a 7, depending on how good the 7 is. Like, it's not just the number of cycles you have to worry about in terms of time loss, it's also the amount of time in between attacks, and the type of attacks that are not the lightning ones. It's just a mess. That's why the, I think the TAS has like a minute 30 Zelda or something. It saves like 30 seconds. Just crazy to me. Looks like Zach is doing fine on the Beast Ganon fight so far. No, he's not. He must have messed something up. I didn't see what happened. That's unfortunate. I can't tell if that was... I think that was the second one that he messed up. Yeah. It must have been. Because he had to wait for the portals to show up. Yeah, okay, he threw Ball and Chain too late. That happens. He's still probably going to get sub 3. That's just going to make it 257 and do a 258, basically. Okay, so Bruggles is in the middle of a Zelda fight here. I didn't see if that was 2nd cycle Lightning Ball. So I was looking at the Beast Ganon fight. don't think he's getting fantastic luck right now, though. We'll see. Oh, actually, no, I think I'm just wrong. He splits at a different spot from where I normally split, so I was guessing based on bad information. That was actually not too bad, then. That was probably about average. I think that he's just gonna miss sub 3, though. Meanwhile, Zach is doing horseback. I don't know what strat Zach does. If he went left, I think this is bad pattern. So he's gonna lose a little time to Zelda missing a couple shots here. But it's not too bad. Okay. So I know exactly what time Zach is gonna get because I can tell from whenever the last hit is on the horseback. But I mean, I guess he could mess up one of the final hits. I'm not gonna spoil it though. But yes, the rest of the game is quite easy for Zach at this point. It's just 3 well-timed jump spins and a finishing blow. Presumably with iron boots, if he knows what he's doing. Gotta end the run in style, you know? Yeah. I don't think that Bruggles is gonna best his segment here by a second, so if he gets everything perfectly, then he would get like a 3 flat. Probably not gonna happen. Oh, he didn't put on iron boots. Boo. Darn it, Zach. You were supposed to put on iron boots. He's gotta save that half a second. Anyways, congratulations to Zach for getting the 258-11, 258-12, I think is what it is officially. So he still lost that second, even though he didn't put on iron boots. Amazing. That's what he gets. Alright, so Bruggles is doing the horseback fight. I think he's on the 3rd hit? No, yes, okay, alright. So yeah, he's just gonna miss sub 3, sadly. This is like extremely close. I think this might be tying someone's previous PB, which was like barely above 3 hours. That would be kind of amusing. So we have Ethernet on stream now, and so he's just entering Hyrule. So presumably there's like 13-ish minutes left in his run here. So if he plays really well, he should be able to get like a 3:12 or a 3:13. Bruggles is gonna finish it in like 30 seconds, I think. A little under that. Assuming he can do the fight correctly. I know sometimes I mess up these jump spins because I go too early. Oh, you got that one. 1. He messed up the second one though. Shame. 2. He went too early on the 3rd one. He's just going too early. Oh yeah, he got it. There we go. Okay. Alright, well. Just missed sub 3, but that is a really good time for a race, and he should be extremely happy with that. As should Zach, by the way, if I didn't say that already. Zach's run for a race is, like, insane. Okay, so, I mean, D3 and Dean are extremely close right now. This is within 10 seconds of each other. Like, this is absolutely the sort of thing where Zelda is totally going to decide this run here. Because, I mean, I think they're like 10 seconds apart or something. Let's see. 3, 1, 14, and...
Right, and with that we are joined by an interview by Bruggles. Hello there.
Hi.
Hi, Bruggles.
How's it going?
I'm doing well. You had a pretty good run there, didn't you?
Yeah, honestly, for most of that run, for a lot of the early game, I think I played really well. I think for Boomerang and Eldin Vessel,
Yeah.
For Boomerang, it tends to just be bad in races just because of, like, safe strats and RNG. Eldin Vessel, I got destroyed by the Shadow Beast. That's never happened before, but, most of the rest
I
of the
saw
run,
that.
pretty solid. There were a few hiccups on some segments. Some of it was just, like, kind of sloppy in general, but I'm pretty happy with this run, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. You and Zach were like within 30 seconds of each other until Palace, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I was just focusing on my own run. I had not checked I had not checked where anyone was the entire time. I was just told that. It's ridiculous. I can't believe how close we were. That probably made it a much more interesting race, to be honest. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this run. If I could continue to play this well for the rest of the tournament, then I think I'll feel pretty solid, honestly.
And we've also got the winner of the race in here, Zach Link. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good.
You are very quiet. Let me boost you up 1 second. Oh, it should be fixed now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I think my run was pretty good. I played very well in the late game, I'd say. But, like, the death in Snowpeak was bad. Otherwise, I'd say it's as good as I could expect for a race.
Yeah, I think you're understating that a little bit. A 258 in a race isn't just very good, it's phenomenal.
I got a 257 like a few days ago with a Morphil death. It was really good.
No way.
Yeah.
With a Morphil death? That's
yeah,
insane.
I continued a good run up to Morphil that drowned and it ended up being really good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can definitely get a 254.
It's just a matter of time at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just want to say, like, thanks for everybody who came out to watch this race.
Dude, that was insane. I was watching the whole time. We were like,
that was really close. Your Palace is just too good, though.
Yeah, that was probably the best Palace I've gotten in a run, I think.
I can't keep up. I guess I have to practice. Yeah.
It was a pretty close race between you and Bruggles. I think there's like a period where you were only like 30 seconds between each other.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I do apologize about the stream layout right now. As you might be able to tell, that the chat on stream is a little bit hacked together.
I'm still mad that I lost like 15 seconds in Arbiters to the rupee chest.
Oh, that's a stream disconnect.
Oh no. That's unfortunate.
Happens. Welcome to online productions, everyone. It happens.
Yeah. So I think that, honestly, Simi should have also gotten the wrong chest as well, just to honor the fact that he technically lied to you.
Yeah. It was weird backing up all the rupees. I haven't done it before, but I just knew there was a 50 in front of Arbiter, so... But yeah, it was a very fun race. Thanks for racing, everyone.
So, personally speaking, because I'm just a brief streamer here, how does the seeding concept work? Just not just for me, but also like the viewers. How do you how does the seeding work?
Basically, like when you have a tournament, right? You wouldn't want to have all of the by the end of the tournament, you want all of the best players playing against each other.
Yeah, I think we understand that. I'm just meaning more like how will the times affect the seeding?
You average all of the times from the races, basically. So there's going to be a number of seeding races this week. I think there's like 6 of them, and you can participate in as many as you want. And we just average all of your times together, and then rank people by their average times. Also, D3 and Dean are like within a few seconds, and D3 is having trouble with the fight, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go.
This could be a photo finish.
You got it.
Imagine if they tied.
That was also like really close.
Oh yeah, you think? that's like 7 seconds. That's crazy.
What a close finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, this race has been... We had like 2 very close groups. We had Zach and Bruggles, and then these 2. So it was a pretty awesome race.
Yeah, a lot of us have been... Oh, you can talk.
But yeah, there should be some really good races this weekend as well. There's a lot of people participating, and a lot of really good runners as well.
Yeah, for sure. We've been doing a lot of races lately, honestly, in just like for fun, unrelated to Wolfdash, and a lot of them have been really close. So I hope it stays that way during the tournament.
Yeah, we had that race. What was it, like a week or so ago, where Zach and Bruggles and I all finished within like 2 minutes of each other, essentially. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I think Simi is gonna get like a 3:11-ish, and looks like Ethernet's probably gonna get like a 3:13. So those are also pretty good times. Not quite as good as 3 flat and 2:58, but good.
Right, and with that, that's all the remaining runners on stream. Alright, give me 1 second, I will very quickly... There you go, and now we're also joined by D3 and Dean for an interview.
Whoa.
What's up? Hello.
Hello. Sneak attack.
Clutch. Run. That was so close. Dean and I were so close. So,
Yeah,
like...
pretty sloppy beginning for sure for me. 130 Morphil, 145 Enter Desert. Like, rough. But...
Oh
Bacon
dang, I
was
just
super
saw
chill.
it, Bruggles. You missed sub 3 by 12 seconds.
It was really unfortunate. I just kind of wasn't playing well towards the end, I guess. But it happens.
Yeah.
GG, Dean, and D3.
Dude,
That was close.
that was clutch.
That wasn't anything to do with the runners right now, it happened on screen. I just reloaded the layout quickly because some of the on-stream data can get bugged when you swap like runners like that.
Yeah. So, like, the reason you caught up Dean and Palace because I missed the spin attack on Phantom Zant too, like my last spin attack, and I missed it. I couldn't do the spin attack. And then during the climb, I got Boomerang trolled again, dude.
Oh, I actually did not do Boomerang. I said I wasn't trusting it. So, yeah.
So did both of you get perfect Zeldas? Is that what happened there?
I got a 7
I
cycle,
had a
but,
really good Zelda, yeah.
but I had a
Pretty
couple
good gold segment
Triforces
on
in
that.
there.
I had 1 Triforce. But it was a gold
2.
segment on there.
Oh, man.
Did
I don't
anybody
know,
else end up doing the new Lakebed stuff?
No, I don't think so.
No?
So both you and Zach did it, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Just for the runners, if you want to follow along with the stream, I've also started the Discord live show.
Oh.
But yeah.
The armor out's fun, dude. I really enjoyed it, actually.
Honestly, I really like the Zora armor route. It's unfortunate that it is a little bit slower than skipping it.
This route is only
seems like
18... Like, the route I do right now is 18 seconds slower than world record route.
If you're good at, like, ball and chain strats, basically.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
messed up with Zolfos really badly. Like it was weird.
I ran Zora armor out for like a little while at some point, and I remember going through like the best run I could get with it with Simikins, because Simikins is like really knowledgeable about like all of the small optimizations, and I was losing like a minute, dude, to like all the stuff that I wasn't doing. So
Speaking of Simikins, he's literally about to finish.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Did both CA runners get the first try?
I got first try slide, Simi did not.
Yeah, I think Simi failed.
that's
Yeah.
Rip.
Throwing the ball and shit. What are you doing, man? You gotta finish the run. It's like your time matters, not just your placement. What are you doing, man? Oh
You're
gosh.
trying to get him out of bounds.
Somebody didn't get the memo about average times.
So would you say that he's throwing for content?
No.
Oh, that's good. That's a good
I
one.
love that.
That's such a good one. Almost,
He just wanted to get the chance, I guess.
Dude, he's really balling.
almost as good as the OTR seed I rolled earlier.
Oh my gosh. I like how there's like a Zach and Bruggles were together the whole time, D3 and me were together the whole time, and then Simi and Ether were really close for quite a bit of the time as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't quite as close as the other two groups, but still.
We kind of like were, I don't know, paired up in a weird way.
I figured Dean and I were gonna be like paired up because we've done a lot of races together, and
We've done a lot of races, dude. Holy
yeah,
shit.
in this past week, so we've been really close to each other certain times.
We've been really busting it out and trying to get better for sure.
Yeah.
No fan trigger this run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, it's
Timmy is now practicing. Oh my god.
Boy.
the thing is, Zelda Speedruns normally doesn't do the kind of like hot swapping that we did today. But it's very nice when you're able to do it and just showcase an entire community.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we were able to like
The Simi
show-
voice reveal. Come on, yeah. We all want it.
I mean, you can just wait until Simi commentates at some point, as I'm sure he's going to do. It's just a matter of time. Yeah, also, yeah, you could go and listen to like half of the VODs on YouTube, because he commented a ton last year.
Yeah.
Also, what is your favorite piece of video game music and why is it this one?
This game is timeless. It just it holds true every time. You just play it and it's always enjoyable, you know?
I think the music in this game is really, really good. It's really, like, it's just really, the music for every area is just really, really fitting.
I like how it actually feels like you're playing a game and not just like adjusting some code and messing around with some super speed glitch or something. I don't know.
You mean
It
you
just
like
feels
that you
a
don't
raw
have to...
game.
You like that you don't have to have a CS degree to understand the speedrun?
Yeah, basically. It's just chill, man. Like,
Yeah.
no complaints. Except for Morphil, like, what the hell? Like, the eye went right back in way too quickly for me to even get a chance, so that was kind of a...
I just
Actually,
got bad.
they're really good. Morphil.
I got bad RNG with Zora armor.
Unfortunately, so far I'm not hearing back from Simikins or VTNet boys for an interview, but we got tons of awesome interviews today.
Yeah. Wow. Oh man. My heart was
I'm
like
gonna head out. See
really
you guys.
racing. Alright.
Alright, see you, Zach.
See you, Zach.
Oh wait, Zach, you. Oh
for running.
jeez, your voice.
Yeah,
Voice reveal.
GG, Zach.
GG, Zach, man.
See you, Zach.
All right. How long do you think Bailey
How
has
was that?
left?
Okay, let me see. It's like 4 minutes and then another 17. It's at least 21. And probably more than that. Actually, so he's like 2 minutes behind where a runner would normally be here, I think, in this segment. So maybe even like, probably for him, it's probably like 25 plus minutes.
I guess in that case we
I
can
was
just
gonna say
do.
25.
In that case we can, I guess, just do all of our questions and send the Zelda Speedruns audience over to Bailey.
Bailey's an awesome dude, yeah.
Do that, yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for putting us on. This is an awesome race to watch. I haven't done I haven't seen like restreamed Twilight Princess in forever, and like I remembered the community was awesome, but I didn't remember being this awesome.
Yeah, we've been trying.
That was the
There's a lot
third.
of new.
Yeah, that was the third
There's a
ever
lot of new
restream.
people
Oh,
here.
sorry, didn't want to interrupt you.
I'm sorry, I just want to say there's just a lot of new people coming in, and you know, I usually play the HD version, but playing SD is still really fun, in my opinion. So, still a very great game to speedrun.
Glad
Both
we
really
converted
cool.
you.
not forever, dude. Not forever.
But yeah,
It was really great.
The one and only Twilight Princess restream ever did a winner's bracket round 3 match between Guradem and Jakuit on February 2020, almost a year ago.
Oh, is that the first time I lost to him and not the second one? I don't even know if I finished that run. I think I might have forfeited that one.
Mentally dead.
That was sad.
Ooh, I think Bailey has mic on stream.
Voice reveal.
Alright,
But yeah,
well,
I guess just thanks everyone for watching.
And thanks, Trez, dude, for putting up with us.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before we head out here,
Always a pleasure.
there's a tiny bit of ZSR announcements that I have to do as the restream. I do want to shout out that over the weekend there are many awesome restreams coming up, especially we're in the OT randomizer sphere. There's a random settings league losers bracket finals between Robdog and Marco on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Central European time. That's for the Americans. That's 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So you might need to wake up early for that one. But yeah, losers bracket finals. That tournament is finishing up. It is potentially only 2 games left there. And then there's also Cariosa versus Rory Kane and Holy Sparks versus Pink Kitty Rose on Friday. For all the times, you can always type ! schedule for all the Zelda speedruns. Yeah. Oh yeah, somebody already did it. you can tell I have awesome attention span. And aside from that, if you like seeding races, we've also got a Skyward Sword randomizers seeding race for the winter tournament on Saturday at actually Friday 8 p.m. Eastern time. It is Saturday 2 a.m. Central European time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my announcements. Because I was looking for any upcoming seeding races, but I can't find any of them on the schedule, so they must have not been filed yet with CSR. But yeah, what an awesome restream. Thank you so much.
All right,
Thanks.
All right.
bye everyone.
See ya, everyone.
Bye.
All right, bye.